welcome in. Good afternoon here in the States. Hope you're keeping well. Good evening for those of you in the UK, and good morning for any of you down under or in that time zone. You don't have to be down under technically, but I hope you're doing well. Happy Monday. If your Monday is finishing up, I hope it was a good one. And if I guess your Tuesday would be starting for those of you in Australia, so big up yourself. Um, This is episode number 33 of the Untitled series here on United Spurs of America. If you don't mind, go ahead and partake in that poll. I want to know what y'all thinking. The question of today, who do you think deserves the most praise for Super NES? That is Super New Era Spurs. I saw you see Sherman before the show. You were asking what that NES. And yes, it is a play on words with Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Was a big fan of that when it came out when I was a young child. So it's just sort of fitting for kind of the turn that Postecoglou has really had with the Spurs. We're going to talk about that. Talk about some transfer rumors. James Maddison allegedly got some scans, and then he's going to need some more scans. That'll be fun. And I'm also asking a question: Is Papa Ay Papi Chulo Mate Sarr, is he undroppable at this point? I think it's a good question to ask. But let's see, 76% of you are saying Papa Ange Postecoglou is the most to praise. 5% says the players. No one has voted ownership, players, manager, etc. I was curious if that was going to get any. And then 19% says no one gets praise yet. And you know what? That's okay. You can temper your expectations. I don't blame you one bit for doing so. I, for one, can get caught up in the moment. So, no shame in no shame in doing so. But big up. Let's see who got the first place prize today. Man, Monday's kind of lame. I don't know about y'all. It's been kind of weird Monday, trying to change things in your schedule, and it's kind of what I'm trying to do a little bit. But big up Milton Nobrega says good afternoon, Jacob, and big up everyone in the chat. Hope you are blessed and feeling fresh. All right, you already know the vibes, Milton. I believe we will be joined shortly by somebody you all know and love. Let me go ahead and make sure that they have that link. I apologize. 1 second, but Milton Nobrega, you get the first place prize today. So big up yourself. Thank you for being here. Big up Adrian Schroka. Good evening, all. And then I also want to say big up if you are watching this back on playback. We do get quite a few people who watch this back after the fact, and big up yourself right now. So big up Adrian Schroka. Big up any of you who may watch it back on playback. Always want to show some love to those of you who do. Also, sorry, I did push the show back. I saw that Paul Hotspur Hippie was live, and want to make sure that man gets his time as well, gets his time to speak. I don't want to be, overlapping on the great Hotspur Hippie, because it comes down to it. If I had to choose between my show and his show, I would definitely tune into his personally. But that's just how I feel. But I'm glad that those of you who did wait around for 30 minutes or so, y'all coming back. So big up yourself right now. Big up Rich. Are you the first YouTube chat member? I think you are. First YouTube chat member in the house. Big up, Rich. Hope you're keeping well. Curb your enthusiasm, my friend. Pac Maniac is in the house. That's a new name. Come on, you Spurs. Big up Pac Maniac. And Drula's in the house. Big up Drula. Hope you're keeping well. Good evening for you, I believe. Says good evening from London, you beautiful bunch. Big up and good evening to you. Hope you had a great Monday. See Sherman asking what the Super NES is, and don't worry, I got your back. There it is. It's a Super New Era Spurs. This is a good time to be excited, honestly. Future Music says evening, morning, afternoon, everyone. Up the Spurs. Big up Future Music. Always appreciate the vibes that you be bringing. They are immaculate. And here on the channel, we do try to keep the vibes immaculate. So I appreciate you doing your part. Beer Talk is in the house. This is what Super NES originally meant, for sure. Sai Danza is in the house. As evening, Jacob Coys. Got my guest in the back. They are enjoying themselves in the green room currently. Double fisting, up and down, left and right. They're giving me a bunch of thumbs up. That's what I think is going on. Should I let him marinate in the hot tub a little bit? Maybe we should let let me go ahead and bring him in. Why should I wait? Why even wait? Here comes the Hotspur Hippie, everyone.
Hey, hello,
Hey,
man.
what's up,
How you
man?
going? Oh, good. I'm still riding high on the vapors of victory, man.
It's
It's because
Tuesday morning for you now, isn't it?
it is. It's been a couple of days now, but I'm still super excited, man. Apparently, Arsenal. Someone in my chat was saying that Arsenal look pretty sluggish. I don't know if you watched the game, but that's a good sign as well.
I mean, honestly, watching them, they look super boring. I was falling asleep. The match was super, super
Brilliant.
boring. I thought they were boring. I thought the opposition was boring. I thought it was all boring. There were a couple moments where the announcers got excited about something, but it wasn't enough to really make me sit up and see what was going on. I could hear it, had my earbud in, but I wasn't really impressed with what I saw. Bunch of losers. And you
Yeah,
know what? I think the way that we play, I'm not afraid of anybody at this point. There was someone brought it up. They made a they had the question. Um, would you rather? Are you nervous for Arsenal now? Would you like the North London Derby to be now as opposed to later? And someone said, yeah, I think when it comes, we'll be ready. Like it'll be perfect amount of time for us to keep implementing the Ange system, et cetera, et cetera. For me, I was like, man, I want to play the ass right now. If I'm honest, I want to stomp
anytime,
up on 'em right
anytime,
now.
man.
Come on,
Bring it
that's what
on,
I'm
bring it
saying.
on.
That Paul, this is what I said about the United match in general. Was they stood there for about 30 to 40 minutes and they wanted to fight the fight that we brought to them. But
Yeah,
after 45 minutes, they were really starting to say, "No, you know what? I don't know that I signed up for this. I don't
go
know
play
that
football.
this is what I yeah, go ahead and bring it to me. I'm kind of tired of pressing you like the way you've been pressing me, and I think that fitness number one, philosophy and mentality. That's kind of the subject matter of today's. I made the
Oh, you've got a
thumbnail.
theme, have you? Oh, okay, that's all right.
I've got things to talk about, Paul. I've got things
Okay.
prepared. It's you know how I do my show. Even as a guest, I do my part to bring research and really dive in deep. But before we go any further, let me continue to say what's up to everybody in the chat. Don't want to forget about y'all in the chat. I see 51 people tapped in right now. Go ahead and hit that like if you so fancy. Or Paul, actually, what I've been telling people is, you know what? Either hit the like or hit the dislike. At this
Oh, it
point,
don't matter.
there's no excuse to just do nothing. And for me, if you're here and you don't want to hit the like, you don't want to, at least put the thumbs down so I know where you lie with the whole supporting me and the channel. A little bit of a, just let me know how you're feeling.
It's
Kind
not.
of
It's
how I
not.
asked about Harry Kane.
It's nice to have a little thumbs down friend. Every video I do,
You
it's
get
like
one?
99.9% likes, but every video, every time, there's one person that just comes in, thumbs down, thumbs down. So,
Oh man, that's hilarious. For me, it's the percentage is a little higher. I'm putting your channel name in the title right now, so anyone who hasn't subscribed to you can click the title, and it'll be in there. But I'm gonna look real quick. So yeah, the last stream got 2 thumbs down, so I had 99%. And then the one before that had 4 thumbs down, so 4 people. Yeah, I'm building some haters, man. Then
wow,
one,
that's
two,
disgruntlement.
4. So there's about 4 people that really collectively don't like my stuff every time they're here. So shout out to the 4. Shout out to the 4 of y'all. But more importantly, shout out to those of you who do hit the likes. Honestly, I've been super blessed lately here on the channel. Everyone's been showing a bunch of love. There's been a lot of likes
Oh, you're
on
killing it,
on
man.
on the past what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row hit over 100 likes. So that's a pretty good target, I think. So hopefully we can hit 100 likes again. 100 kisses. 100 besos. Besos. Give me some besos. So, also, I am going to record. So, as chairman of El Paso Spurs, I got an invitation from somebody at Tottenham Hotspur to record a few questions to ask the players. So, I have a message in Spanish, and I don't speak fluent Spanish, but I'm going to try and fake it. And I've been rehearsing the lines in front of my wife. So, I'm going to record this piece, and it's going to be me asking Alejo Veliz something. A very standard, standard run of the mill type question. It's just like, how have you found the acclimation from in England? Have you found any places that serve Argentinian food, local kind of shit? Like just a real cheesy question. So I'm going to do that, and then also let me see in the email. It said I think James Maddison, Alejo Veliz. Let me see. Just so you know, I ain't lying. Look, from Ross Finney, boom, official email, official shit right there. Um, so the original email, oh, she sent a follow up because I never got back to her. So she was like, just letting you know, we extended it until Wednesday. You can submit until Wednesday, and it says, we'd like to offer fans a chance to welcome our new signings, James Maddison, Maynard Solomon, and Alejo Veliz to the club. To find out a bit more about them, if you are interested in participating, we will need you to submit a video with the below requirements.
So something I like what they were doing at Celtic when Ange was there is like you've got the pre-match, post-match press conferences
Yeah.
with all the journos in. Then
Yeah.
straight after, what they do is they go down into another room, and it was full of like fan channels, and they
Mm-hmm.
get to ask Ange questions, and it was really kind of cool.
That is pretty cool.
So you do your sanitized, faux Spanish
Hola,
one.
Alejo. ¿Cómo
Hola,
estás?
cuando
Should I do a
aclimatación?
dry run right now? Y'all in the chat, tell me right now if I should do a dry run. Should I do a dry run? Should I perform for you the lines I've been rehearsing? Hola, Alejo. ¿Cómo ha sido la transición a la Inglaterra? ¿Has encontrado? I mean, y'all didn't even ask for it. Technically, y'all were supposed to tell me. I'm letting.
Surely, like you're in El Paso, mate. Can't you grab someone that speaks Spanish? You
Why
don't. You
would I
just
do
want all.
that? I want
You
it to
just
be
want.
me.
I know. You just want.
I want it to be me. I want Alejo Veliz to look at me and be like, "Ay, Jacobo." You know what I mean? The
Yeah,
way I
and
look at
then
Papa
you could be
Montesar and
best
I say,
friends.
"Ay, papi." You know, the same energy.
Oh,
That's what I want to see.
I like.
Um,
I like the Spanish guy from Texas. I want him to be my friend.
Hit me up, bro. Next time you in El Paso, I'll show you around. We'll get some real good food. Trust me on that. Let's say what's up to the chat. I'm falling behind in the chat, so let me
Oh,
say
okay.
what's up. We've been doing a little show here, Paul. So let's say what's up to the chat real quick. Manny Sings in the house, says good evening. C. Sherman's in the house. Elvis G, another YouTube chat member checking in, says good evening all. Beer Talk is in the house. Milton Nobrega, new era. Nope, not Nuno Espirito Santos. I'm talking new Spurs, new era Spurs. Let's keep it. We all know what we're talking about here. Always glad to check in the show, Jacob. Big up, Manny. Appreciate you checking in. Who else is here? Jazz Fusion is in the house. Does Maddison have a foot? Allegedly, he at least has 70% of his foot, but I do think it is something with the ankle foot area, and he had some scans today, and he's going to get some scans tomorrow. And anytime you're going for double scans, that's usually not a good sign. It's usually not. That's like, let me get a second opinion before we really say what this is, and that is alarming to me in a lot of reasons why. Because then I think that means that Giovanni Lo Celso would step in, but we'll talk more about that. Big up Beer Talk, big up random YouTube commenter. Getting frustrated with the actual lack of transfer movement. How do you feel about it? I'm frustrated as hell. It's I don't know. The show's early on. I'll dive into this more later. But yes, I am actually very frustrated. Big up Jake Hismet in the house, Liverpool fan in the house, showing some love. Says who the fuck are Man United? I don't know. I don't know who that was that we played. But shout
Was
out
that
Man
yeah?
United. They did get a dub today. They did have a dub. They said we are no longer going to have a contract with Mason Greenwood, so they do get a dub today for that. They've been
That's
taking
quite
L's
cool.
all season, so why not do one good thing for the fans? So big up for that. What were you gonna say, Paul?
I've forgotten, man. Don't worry about it. Just do the chat. It's gone.
That's what I get. That's what I get for being a really bad host.
No, no, no. I don't
Big
want to
up
step on the
Shamu's in
chat,
the
man.
house. Came with the Hosper Hippie raid. The hippie's in the house too. He raided not only the channel but the stream as well. He's here. He's here to tell us everything he didn't tell you earlier. Good evening, JC. I'm doing well. Hope you are as well. Big up Derek Smith in the house. Big up Nick Brown, Insman TV. Big up yourself. Hope you're keeping well. Another rival checking in. So if a rival can check in and hit the like, surely, but don't call me Shirley. Every Spurs fan can hit the like or hit a dislike. Just let me know let me know where you stand. Why? It's all up to you. It's all in your hands. The world is your oyster. It's not really mine. My world is my oyster, but your world is your oyster, and yours is too, Paul. Did you know that? That's
I
your
know. I've got
own,
it.
your very own oyster.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome. Big up Spurs for Life 78. Big up Glen Meadows. Positive Spurs vibes on a Monday. Always, always, always. Intelligence sent me here. That must be Paul. Say no more. Gov. Oi yoy. Big up Say No More. Big up JC. Says I have to admit you fans are quite calm, disheartened with some of our fan base going nuts after one bad result. We played really well. Football is unpredictable. But crazy reactions. I think we're all in acceptance phase right now of like where we're at and what we're seeing. And there's nothing. I mean, when I look at United, there's really only two people who upset me on the day. Really, only two. How many people upset you on the day, Paul? Zero or two or one?
I was unupsettable. Maybe Bruno Fernandes because he kept on mouthing off.
But from a Spurs perspective,
Nah, Spurs, man. I mean, like Richarlison, but even Richarlison improved in the second half, and that's all. I'm in that mode at the moment where, as long as I see what we've got getting better, I'm not busting a gut over transfers at the moment.
Big up Nick Brown says, Jacob, your poll was a tad difficult to answer, but I went for our Spartan Ange. Good choice. You can never go wrong with Papa Postecoglou. He is the truth. I think it was only a matter of time until people really started finding out. And Paul, I think this is why we've all been late to the barbecue, but you've been here the entire time. Some say you might have stayed here the night before the barbecue and you were here to greet anybody showing up because Michael and I were talking about this yesterday and he was pretty much like done with Spurs. He took a break from the for the summer, so as you could tell, it was a lot of me over the summer. It was a hot Jacob summer. Not by hot, I mean sweaty, very sweaty. But it was a hot Jacob summer, and really Ange Postecoglou and the system and the vibes that he's bringing has really sucked him back in. So I told him, I said, bro, I'm just glad you brought your swim trunks because finally you're at the barbecue and you're ready to participate. You're not just at the barbecue. A lot of fans, when we signed Ange, they were like, I don't even know if I'm going to go to the barbecue. Some showed up, but no swim trunks. They said I already ate before I came here. But you, Paul, you were setting up the damn table. You were getting the couches arranged for everybody to walk in to the Ange party. And honestly, I'm just glad I got here a tad earlier than most
Welcome.
because I brought my swim trunks. I came ready to party. Honestly,
Yeah. And I think a lot of Australians were like this. It's only because I've seen him like for 20 years do this sort of stuff. I'm surprised how quick it's happening at Tottenham because I was blown away by what we did on the weekend. But I knew we would get there eventually. I knew all the fans would get there. But man, I couldn't believe they were singing his name for like 90 minutes. It was amazing, the atmosphere at White Hart Lane.
after the match too, and the
Yeah.
in the concourses, it looked pretty sardine packed, and everyone's singing the Ange Postecoglou song. How do you feel about the Ange Postecoglou? Do you think it could have been better? Do you think it's good?
Well, that's what Celtic used to sing. That one that they were singing all the time. So
Oh, okay.
I'm okay with it. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah. For the chat, I did see Arsenal. They're booty cheeks, to put it lightly. They're booty cheeks. Big up Caption Grandma, another YouTube chat member in the house says, good day, guys and gals. I'm probably being thick, but what the hell is Super NES Super New Era Spurs? Brought to you by Ange Postecoglou. You know the Nintendo loading screen? I want to do an animation that instead of Nintendo, it says Postecoglou. And I want to make that. Someone's gonna make it before me, and I'm gonna have egg on my face. But you heard it here first, folks. Um, because it's Super NES, man. This is a new era of Spurs, and it's some saying back to our roots, back to what we used to be, back to our identity. And you know what? Even if it is, this is still a new era of that because this is
Yeah.
Ange's version of that, and he knows the history of this club. He's mentioned before he came here that he knew the history of this club because of certain players that he used to follow. So you know what? He's the man for the job. And anyone who doubted it, it's never too late. There's still more links on the train. You can still hop aboard. Toot
Oh, of
toot.
course.
Get your popcorn ready because you know what? The Ange is just starting. It's just begun. Some say, we're going to be losing more than we're going to be winning. I like to argue that, you said the treble's on, Paul. And quite
It's always
frankly,
on.
you look more right than anybody right now. So I'm just going to put it that way.
Well,
Big
what's
up
the
Glenn
point?
Meadows in the house.
What's the point in saying, sixth? like Conte was saying, maybe we can get to 6th or 7th. It's like, no, just keep your mouth shut, mate.
Predictions. I think content creators are always going to have predictions just to predict stuff, right? Like I predicted on Sean with Spurs Talk Show, I predicted on his show where I thought Spurs would finish. And honestly, I picked us 6th, even without some of the transfers that had happened. I don't even think Van de Ven was official at this point. And I was like, if we get Van de Ven over the line, and I think, and my hope is that we do some things. Now, there are some things I do want to talk about in regards to, this is actually a perfect little segue right here, Paul. So Spurs Extra is tweeting. You can't really read it, so I'll read it for you, and you can just look at the source and the beautiful face of Ange Postecoglou. Big up that Vestal. So the tweet says, quote, from what I understand, there's a little triangle forming between Postecoglou, Gabanini, and Levy in terms of pushing the data analytical side of the transfers. So this is from Alistair Gold, which some people have coined he's a mouthpiece for the club. And if so facto, if that's the case, he's always at every press conference asking his questions, and he writes for football.london. So I don't necessarily subscribe to the thought that he is a mouthpiece for the club. But if he's understanding that there's a little triangle forming between the data analytical approach, the manager, and Levy, surely, but don't call me surely, there's got to be some hope on the front of getting some transfers and some players that we might actually be able to cook with Papa Ange. What do you think about that, Paul?
Yeah, and I think that I like what Ange said after the game on Sky Sport. He said, because someone was saying, is there pressure on you to pick players just because they're nearing the end of their contract? Or he says, no, I'm in charge of the squad. That's it. So for me, I'm not really too worried about, us offloading players or whatever, because at the end of it, in a couple of weeks, Ange is going to have to pick a 25-man squad. And if there's some players hanging around the club outside of that, I don't care, and I don't think Ange cares either. It's up to the club to get rid of those players, and if Ange wants people in, they bring him in. But I'm really quite calm over the whole thing.
I like that you're calm. You've always brought a calming presence, not only to the channel,
wait
but
till we lose 5 on a row, mate. Then you'll see the other side of me.
Big up. Shamu says you should play bass while you ask the questions. That is actually a cello. It is my wife's cello. I guess Paul could play the bass for us real quick.
I can't because it's not plugged in, and it's a bass, so you can't play songs on it. I mean, I could probably
You could
play
do like a
Seven
groovy
Nation
tune
Army.
though.
I could probably do the Ange Postecoglou Seven Nation Army chant, but I don't want to get you demonetized because it would be so on the money that they'll be onto it.
That's why when we were in Champions League, I really had to be careful singing the Champions League song because I kept demonetizing every video with copyright infringement because my singing was so on par that it was like, this is a live performance of the Champions League. You don't have the rights for this. So they would always shut those down. I'm not going to sing it here for you, but no worries there. Big up. Not bad, but try more manly, Jacob. Yeah, I should put more. But every time I try and do more manly, my wife's like, you don't have to go so. What is the word? I'm trying to think of what the word. I can't even think of what the word was. I need to work on it though. I do need to work. I don't even know what Derek is saying. Derek speaks Spanish. Everybody speaks Spanish in the chat except me, and I live in the damn predominantly Spanish-speaking city in America. So ain't that fun? Let's see here. Have I made sure to say hi to everyone? Big up David Calvino. Que pasa, Jacob? Hope you're doing well. I don't believe Dyer has any feet. That's another little bit of news I want to get to. I didn't put him in the title because that makes me mad, but we'll talk about that in a second because right now I think the vibes are good. I don't want to spoil the meal by saying, oh, yeah, there was a big fly that was stepping on shit and now he's all over the burgers. Because right now we don't need that at the barbecue. The vibes are immaculate. You guys play FPL. I do Pac Maniac. I don't think Paul does, but I do. What is this? Oh, what is this? Put that away. We're gonna get. They're gonna some kind of. They're gonna get us for some kind of terms and conditions because you're showing inappropriate images online. Effing hell. Big up. Matters hairline fracture. Oh, that's not good.
Oh,
yeah, that's not good.
It's not terrible though, is it? I mean, hairline fracture. It's not. You're not out for months with that.
Oh, that's true. Big up Kevin Williams says checking in with you, Jacob. Big up Kevin Williams. Thanks for keeping it locked in here and always tapping in with me. Big up Cursor. RIP Chelsea Old Boys. Big up Steve. He's been laid to rest today, so may he rest in peace, and I hope his family has some peace. But RIP Steve Old Boys. I was actually just looking through mine and his old messages today. Because I was going through some of the chat that we have, Cursor. But big up Cursor. Hope you're keeping well, buddy. Big up yourself. Shamu, Chelsea look more like London FC with those kits. Honestly, though, I know Paul hates the shiny logos, but Chelsea's kits got them shiny logos. Paul, have you seen them?
No, but you know what? I'm warming to it because I did like our away kit the other at Brentford. I thought it looked pretty snappy, actually.
Talk to me, Paul. Talk to me, Paul.
I'm
You're
warming,
flipping the switch on me now, huh?
I am.
Good. I love to see it. You've converted. You are now like, ooh, the shiny logo can win me over. I'm glad because you know what? If I had the money, I would buy and ship something with the shiny logo just for you. Because now
now you're officially a shill for Daniel Levy. You know,
well, as soon as Daniel Levy checks start coming in and stop bouncing, then yeah, I'll buy you the damn stadium that you're sitting behind right now. Big up C Cube says, what did I pick in the poll? No one gets praise yet is what I'm thinking you pick, C Cubed. I'm thinking no one gets praise from C Cubed yet. Big up Mile High Hotspur says, sup, my homies. Big up Leo. A couple big ups for Paul as well. Pac Maniac Brendan Johnson coming in for 35 million pounds plus add-ons. That is something that I did have starred because I wanted to test the water. Let me star this, Pac Maniac. Great question. Let me star that, and we'll come back to it because I do have a little bit about that I wanted to speak about. Maybe could he be the solution to our problems? Bruno's still in the dressing room waiting for that referee's apology. Did you hear? What did you just tell me your thoughts on that, Paul? When Bruno Fernandez last week was like, "Hey, if that's the way the ref sees it, then that's the way the ref sees it." And then this week he's like, "You better be coming to tell me sorry this week. You better come say you're sorry." What do you make of that?
Well, he should get a red card, shouldn't he? He should get a red card now, so he gets suspended for the next game.
Straight red, he gets three match ban.
Yeah. I mean, the cheek, the hide. I mean, I've got to think, I don't like players from any. I don't like players, Tottenham players, hounding the referee. I just think I suppose you can play the referee a little bit, but there's sweeter ways to do it than just going, "Hey man, you say sorry." I mean, I think it was a bit of a penalty that Romero did. But then there was another one up the other end when Romero and Maddison both got felled. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. But you've got to play the game outside of that. I heard you say it the other day, and it's something that me and Mountain Bushman say a lot, is you've got 90 minutes to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Despite, you might have bad decisions or whatever. You've still got a bloody hour and a half. So go and do it.
Absolutely. That's the... I hate it when, even when we lost to Liverpool last year and Oliver Skipp, I have a picture saved, and Oliver Skipp took a boot to the face, and literally Diogo Jota did not see time behind bars for this challenge, which to me is assault with a deadly weapon when you put your studs into someone's face like that, But also, I always caveated that with, outside of that, we capitulated in regardless of that fucking tackle. Regardless of the atrocious decision that was not made, we still capitulated at the end. We had a chance to get the point and get out of Anfield, and we didn't. We capitulated. And so, at the end of the day, the ref doesn't determine the game. He just determines a moment or two. And, let's keep it all in perspective. Remember Sonny's penalty last week? I wasn't blaming the refs at all. It was a shit penalty, very soft. But when you look back, it's almost letter of the law. But if you look at today, there's actually something I do want to show on that. Hang on, let me pull it up before I just reveal all the cookies I have.
People complain about penalty shootouts. It's like, dude, by the time you got a penalty shootout, you've had 2 hours. 2 hours to win a game. And if neither side can win it in 2 hours, then I don't care what happens after that.
Good point. Big up Will McDonald is in the house as well. But look at this challenge here on Ezzy today. Declan Rice and Party gets a chunk of his foot, so he falls over. But the whole time Rice is holding on to him. This is in the box, and VAR took 30 seconds of a look at it and said, "No, that's not a penalty." Pretty atrocious and way more egregious than what Youngmin Son did on game day
I didn't
one.
think that was a penalty. The Son one, I didn't think was a penalty. No
A little
way, man.
silly, a lot of silly actually. Now that I think
Well, that's
about
the
it.
first time I've seen Arsenal's away kit. It's I don't know. It's eye catching, I suppose.
Yeah, eye catching in the sense of like there's a traffic cone there, like maybe there's construction workers and they're in those
Contraflow.
yeah, that's not an attractive looking shirt at all. Feyenoord is 12 after 2 games. Arne Slot who?
That's
Arne
right, man.
Slot who? I love it there.
Who?
Who is, I don't know who that is. Kaylee Davis, another YouTube chat member. It's a Spurs reboot. Big up. Thanks for being here. Always got to shout out the YouTube chat members. Big up. Appreciate y'all being here. The domestic treble is on, says Pack
Absolutely.
Maniac. Love it, Maniac. You a maniac in the best of ways, you Pack Maniac. Neil Spurs says, calm down, Jacob, and everyone else. Any football after Conte will look good. It has been just 2 games, and we have all seen this movie before, guys.
You calm down. You calm down, Neil. Oh,
Neil, I see you. I hear you. But if, the child in the candy store doesn't believe that they can have a piece of every candy, then you're really crushing the kid's dreams in that moment, right? So for me, I'm balancing it. I've always said here on the channel, there's my heart and there's my head, and it's like a yin yang, and they're constantly ebbing and flowing together, having a battle of who's gonna win this argument. And right now, my heart is winning. I'm in the pool. I'm wet as hell, and I'm just saying it's a great time, and everyone should jump in with me. Some people ain't even ready to put their swim trunks on yet, but that's okay. They will eventually, and that's the thing, Paul. When you told me the water's warm, time to get in, I didn't hesitate. I didn't even show up with another pair of shorts because I'm in my swim trunks. I'm ready for a dip in the pool. And it's just a matter of time. Neil Spurs, I can't wait until maybe a year or two. I'm being patient, but I'm just excited with what I'm seeing in such a short amount of time. So there is a little bit of, yeah, I do need to, rein it in a little bit. But then at the same
why?
time, but then
What's
at the
the
same
point
time,
of raining?
we beat
Why?
United 2-0 for the first time at home since what, 2017?
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
crazy
yeah.
like that. So I'm just excited. And I don't know, maybe my expectations can be calm. I should calm and temper my expectations because I did say all along when we hired Ange that give him at least 2 seasons until we're giving him expectations, because until there's been 4 transfer windows where we're getting rid of some of these Eric Dyers, some of these Tanganga, Reguilon, Sessegnon, and Domblé, etc. The list goes on and on. Until Ainge has the players he really wants, I'm not going to put expectations on him. Now, it would be nice to finish and get a conference league. I wouldn't mind playing conference league or Europa next season. I don't want Champions League. I think that's a little. I don't know. I want to feel like we have a chance to win it in Champions League. I don't know that that we would ever have a chance of winning that at this juncture. So, but I don't feel that way about Conference League. I feel like Conference League is the perfect place for Ainge to win his first European trophy with Spurs, honestly. And that's not me trying to get too hype either. But big
Yeah,
up.
I think we're just going to win the Premier League, and then next year we'll beat Bayern Munich in the Champions League final. That's how I've got it all mapped out. And you know what? If it all goes to shit and it doesn't happen, and we start playing like fluff, I don't care because I feel good right now, and that's all I care about right now.
I love that, Paul. I love the power of now. There's a great book written about it. It's called The Power of Now. You can check that out.
Yeah, that's
A lot
the
of
that's
fun.
the Amazing Race guy. That's one of my favourite shows, The Amazing Race. Phil Kagan wrote that.
Uh, Big up, Ron. Great show, guys. Love the show. Big up, Ron. Appreciate you being here. Fernando Mustachio. I don't think Gold's a mouthpiece. He's just a bit of an overly polite chap, and sometimes getting 2 sources makes him slow. Well, that's true. But he's got sources, so I trust what he says a little bit. I mean, I like. I mean, I do have to watch him on times too. I'll be honest, but you probably got to
Yeah,
watch me
yeah.
on times two. I don't know. Some people say in the South we talk a little bit slow just because it ain't supper time yet, and unless it's eating time, it ain't time to talk real fast. So save your energy for the
Papa, Papa,
cattles.
Papa, where's my grits? My grits and chitlins.
Grits and chitlins. Boy, I'll tell you what. Come on, we ain't eating no chitlins around here. Yosarian is in the house. Good day, Jacob and
Hey,
Paul. Heard a couple of Ange chants. The Celtic one, and the other one was to the tune of Seven Nation Army. I am a fan of the Seven Nation Army. That was one of the first bands that calmed my son down when he was an infant. Whenever
no
he'd be
way.
upset, we would play. No, I have Seven Nation Army stuck in my head. I can't think of the other song. Blue Orc Blue Orchid, I think, or White Orchid. I can't remember the name of the song. But big up Yasarian. Big up Donald Dickinson. Says, good morning, Jacob and Paul. I grabbed a free beer on the way in. What a guy. What a lad. That means he hit the like, and you can too. It's absolutely free. Over 111 of y'all in the house. Big up every single one of you. I do appreciate y'all tapping in at United Spurs of America. Let's go. Let's go ahead and hit that like. Takes no time at all. Costs you absolutely nothing. Free beer on the way into the party. Partake in that poll. I see 93 votes, 63 likes. 30 people want to party but don't want to bring the free beer. It's absolutely free. Let's see. 74% says Papa Ange Postecoglou is the one to get the most praise at this moment for super new era Spurs, and I dig it. I'm all about it. Kaylee Davis wants you to compose a new song, Paul. So maybe you're the guy. You're the one to do it. Big up Mick Dundee, hey, from Melbourne, Australia. Big up Mick Dundee. Big up KEB. I didn't like the poll. Bring our own opinion, please. Oh, I'm sorry you didn't like the poll. Which I try to always represent all. If you want, I could be like every 99% of every other channel. Just put a poll up. Did you like the video?
You
But
like
that's
the
kind of
channel?
boring. Yeah, did you like this yet? Or I feel like that's kind of
Why haven't
lame.
you liked it, you bastard?
But sorry, KEB. I try to give that a little piece for everybody. Looking forward to a flurry of transfers happening soon. Big up Peanut is in the house. Beer Talk says, I think Dyer and Skip would look great in a Fulham kit. That's an interesting bit of news. Did you hear that part, Paul? As far as the Eric
Oh
Dyer.
yes, Dyer. I heard about Dyer this morning, but Dyer wants to leave on a free apparently next year. So
Apparently.
we'll see how that works out.
Um, Says Tottenham are keen on Eric Dyer to move this month, whereas the player prefers to move next summer for free. It's kind of a weird stance to take, you bastard. And then it says the player's open to the right loan, but is unlikely to move on a permanent transfer. Now, who's CDE Eccleshare? Are they to be trusted? I follow them, so I hope they are. The Athletic, they've been getting a lot of information spot on this offseason, honestly. Throughout most. Okay, that's enough, Paul. That's. I'm
It's your
definitely
show, man.
the monetary. It says the video's been unmonetized.
It's like,
They
you just
actually
showed
took us
love
live off air
movie.
right now. They just took us off
Yeah,
the air.
Charlie Eccleshare, I think, is one of the. I suppose you would call him tier one.
Oh, I don't know. Big up DJ in the house. I guess Charlie's. I guess I don't know. Charlie. I don't know if I trust him, but there you go. There's a picture of. I actually don't
Oh,
want to look at that, so he's getting covered by the comment. Big up DJ's in the house. Big up Gabriel's in the house. I want to make sure I say hello to everyone. I got it right again. I know I did. Big up Scott M. Of course, nobody gets praised. There's nothing to praise. There it is. That's who I fucking love me some Scott M. I tell you what, he gives me that apple juice when you thought you were getting orange juice, he gives you apple juice. And guess what? They both
every
have the same vitamin C.
every silver lining's got a cloud with Scott.
I love the fact that because when I'm making the poll, a lot of it is just like my feelings or thoughts, right? And so I'm like, what do you think or feel about X, Y, and Z? But I'm always with that third or fourth option. I want to include Scott. I want to be like, what would Scott say to this? And I feel like today definitely hit the nail on the head. Big up Scott, YouTube chat member checking in. Got to show love every single time. I'm way behind in the chat. It just refreshed, and I'm like way super behind actually. So let me just real quick. Chris Peters, big up Quez Ali. Make sure I don't miss anybody in the house. JC, aren't you concerned, Jacob? This is good result. Let's Levy pocket 100 mil. No, I don't think the results dictate what happens with the Harry Kane money. I do not think that at all. Big up, everyone. Big up, JK in the house. I already said big up to JK. You got double up. Big up, Todd Spurs. Another YouTube chat member says, big up, Paul, Jacob, and chat. The Postecoglou Choo Choo has left the station. Destination, the title. I didn't say it. I didn't
I've
say
been
it.
saying
Someone else did.
Destination Glory, so I don't know what that glory is, but it's something.
It's something. It is something. Scott M says things will be light years better with a quality manager like Conte over Ange the fraud. I love Scott. He says
He's
2
brilliant.
seasons. I think I might with 2 seasons of Ange. That would be rough. I think I might. You left something out. I don't know. Yeah, that was a very horrible kit. Big up, Nikos Kosti. Greetings from Cyprus. Big up, Nikos Kosti. Well, I guess Hellas would be for Greece, so that's actually wrong. What would I say? Oh, there goes my wife. She just came in here to say hello. Hello, my wife, my beautiful wife. Sean, EJ, Daniel, J, don't temper. We could play unbeaten this season with a little luck. Come on, talk to me nicely. I did say the first 3 matches, Paul, we were not going to lose. And so far, the proof is in the pudding. Or the proof is in the gravy where I'm from. And guess what? Gravy's getting slathered.
Well, it's something in Alistair Gold's article yesterday. I didn't realise that Ange Postecoglou has not lost a home game since November 2020.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
You said Ange has not lost a home match since 2020.
Since November 2020. That's at Yokohama. All throughout his tenure at Celtic, he never lost a home game. And now he's won his first home game at Spurs.
That's insane, actually. Big up, Scott M says, when Ange gets us to the championship, we have a chance to win that. What are we in the table? We're don't worry, Scott. Don't worry. Scott's the guy that doesn't want to show up to the barbecue. He didn't bring swim trunks, but he's gonna get dunked in the pool and he's gonna have a good time at the end of this. Before the story's over, he's gonna be having a good time. He's gonna be in the pool, and we're gonna have to say, Scott, it's almost time to go. What are we doing here?
And then we go chug, chug, chug,
jump,
chug, 4 a.m. Okay, Scott, come on, man.
Big up Daniel E in the house. Big up Just a Harmless Potato. Says, good morning, Paul, and good evening, Jacob. It's good afternoon for me, but good evening to you, Just a Harmless Potato. Adekunle in the house says, I believe Ange is having a faster progress than we thought possible. Come on, you Spurs. Big up Adekunle. Hope you are doing well. Go on, Paul says, Luca 14. And Derek Smith, question to test your Texas knowledge, Jacob. What is the Texas official state insect? It's got to be something weird like a cicada or something. I don't know. I didn't even know we had one of those. I hope I'm right. It was a cicada. Those little bastards be chirping all night. Mick Dundee. Ange will go into every game believing he can win and playing the same way even against Man City. And Ange we trust. And Ange we trust wholeheartedly. And you know what? There is a list of players I wanted to bring up. Here it is from We Are Tottenham TV. They brought up, out of all these players up for sale, who do you think could stay beyond the deadline and still play a part? So that's their question. But out of this list of players, is there anyone that you're keeping, Paul?
Look, mate, if you're going to keep, if I had to keep one of those, just because I thought he did all right on the weekend, I'd probably keep Højbjerg. Because even he was doing fancy spins and stuff out of nowhere. So maybe him. Sanchez as a backup if we don't get another centre back, but the rest I'm not, ugh. I mean, they've all failed.
True.
What about you, man? Who are you keeping?
Out of this list? Højbjerg. I keep him to come in off the bench. I thought, he did what he always does, which is one good thing, one bad thing, one good thing, one bad thing. And you never get progressive with the guy. You just stand in the same. I keep him because I think I like the fact that he has some depth and he's never hurt. So you at least got someone who can be there if you need him. All the rest, yikes. Sanchez, I guess, as our 4th option would be nice. But at this juncture, he looks like our 3rd option. And Eric Dyer's our 4th option. So out of this list, honestly, All of them can go. All of them can go.
All of them.
All of them. All of them can go. Absolutely, they all can go. Y'all can get the hell out of here. Fernando Mustachioso. I meant he's slow to report because of the sourcing, but he is indeed really slow to say. Oh, no, I didn't. Big up Adekunle. Big up Chris Peters. Carl Higgins is in the house. Paul, cut that beard. You're making me feel old, he says.
You grow a beard and then cut your own beard off.
Big up, Mud. Quez Ali says, I love the polls. Big up. I'm glad that you enjoy them. I put a lot of thought into them. I could do something easy and fucking simple and just say, have you liked and subscribed? But like that's really lame in my opinion. I don't like it. I don't like seeing that as a viewer. So why would I put that on my own? L likes the polls as well. Big up L. Levy looking to be a star on deadline day. You think he's drawing it out, Paul? Do you think Daniel Levy is purposefully drawing out all of this?
Because he's such a mastermind at negotiations. I don't know.
You saw how big the chair he sat in at Cambridge was.
Oh.
Don't act like he's not that big of a guy. Come on.
Hello, I'm Daniel Levy. It's like Land of the Giants, isn't it? No, I reckon the one that really does that, and it's usually Man United that do the last minute stuff because they play a couple of games and they go, oh no, we're still shit, and then spend 200 million on deadline day.
Paul, I just want to say, anyone who ain't subscribed to the Hotspur Hippie, it's in the title, no excuse. Go hit a like and subscribe over there. Over 112 of y'all in the house. Hit that like. We're at 78 likes, 115 votes in the poll. Costs you absolutely nothing. It's absolutely free. You don't have to. Free universe. So you could literally not do it. Or you could be like some people. We get about 1 to 4 people per stream who hit dislike. And you know what? I'm just glad they told me something. Because if you're here, at least let me know how you're feeling while you're here. So much for Dyer being your Daniel. Oh, I don't even know what that means, Luca. I watched the Dyer Plays Spurs documentary. We should not hate on him. Okay. I watched 10 minutes of it, couldn't make it through the rest. I don't hate on him. I just think he's awful and he needs to go. And I don't like that he laughs at Tottenham. And I think he's just like doesn't represent us in a good way in the public face. I just don't think that he is good for us at all. 49 says Danny Evans. 49 home games, no losses, says Derek Smith. And in regards to that Ange Postecoglou stat that you pulled up. Honestly, nice. I mean, wow, impressive, I must say. Indubitably. Scott says, I can't swim. You will have to save me after pushing me in. Scott, I will be your lifeline right now. I will be your lifeguard. You can count on me. I will not let you drown. Neither will Ange. He'll save you too. Craig the Gecko Man, big up fellas. Every Captain Ange's pick becomes pivotal. I predict Sun to go supernova this season. Big up Craig the Gecko Man. Love the vote of confidence. I said the same.
When did
I hope we're proved right.
Jacob?
Oh, you need the evidence?
You know. Woo, woo, woo. Open up. Open up.
That is El Paso. That's El Paso.
Yeah. Show me the evidence. Show me the evidence, boy.
Woo woo. Big up Danny Evans also hitting us with that 49 home matches that he has not lost. The Texas Potato Beetle. Did I miss it, Daniel or Derek? Did Derek tell me and I missed what it was? The state beetle or the state? No, wrong. It's the monarch butterfly. There it is. Keep Sanchez, says Mark Dundee. Kev Williams says, I hate to say this, but if Matters has a hairline fracture like what's being purported, how long will he be out for? That's what, 4 to 6 weeks. Fracture, right? In the leg, that's about 4 to 6 weeks.
You get the Spurs medical department on the case. They'll just tap it back in. You know, they'll fix it up. They're brilliant, our doctors. You know, just bang it in.
They're definitely not just gonna, you know, if it predicted to be 3 weeks, it ends up being 3 months. Is typically how that works in the past. Interesting little segue here. I do have something else I want to talk about. Per the Evening Standard, don't know who that is. Paul, do you know who the Evening Standard is?
Yes.
But per the Evening Standard...
Well, at least from my time in England, they're one of the less obnoxious papers, but I don't know if they still are.
Per them, Mr. Bentancur could potentially return from his ACL injury in the middle of next month.
Okay.
You're talking about in September, and we said at best November. That's 2 months ahead of schedule. That's kind of insane to me. We might be cooking when that man comes back and just have a whole stable of midfielders who could play the part. I
As long
don't
as we don't
know.
rush him back too soon and exacerbate the problem now, because we've got a bit of a history at that at Tottenham.
Shamu says new away kit, 8 out of 10 for me. Oof. Me just turned up in the mail. Oh, you just got yours in the mail? Lucky. I want
Oh,
to.
nice,
I
man.
want to get
Nice.
one. I want to get one, but I'm only going to order from DH Gate. But I'm thinking about getting the third kit, the leak third kit. If it's gray, it looks nice. But if it's like that stained wine color, I don't know. I might just get the away kit. I don't know. Derek says I'm hearing 8 weeks maximum for Maddison. Maximum. So worst case scenario, 8 weeks. That's 2 months. And we already have Mr. Bentancur back, so that could be kind of nice. Steve D, hi guys, just listening in, but had to after that bit of skill. You ran 5 yards and passed it backwards. Then a few minutes later, played a hospital pass. He's terrible. Oh, about Hoybier. P.S. Great listening, lads. Big up Steve D in the house. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, not saying he should be here or that he wants to be here or that any of that, but I would just, you know what? Some depth on the bench. I'm not too upset about. J.Co. Maddison is out. Yep. Apparently a hairline fracture. And he went off for more scans. And I always said, more scans is not good news. Usually one scan and they say you're fine and that's good. And more scans mean more problems. More scans, more problems for sure. Mick Dundee says, explain big up to me. Never heard it before in my life until the last few weeks. Paul, you want to take this one? And big up
It's
yourself
something.
at the same time?
Well, it's something the kids say on the internet, and I'm with you, Mick. I did find it weird, but after a couple of years, I'm now fully brainwashed, and I say big up myself because it's kind of a cool thing to say, I think.
When I first heard it, Paul, it almost sounded to me like when people were like slyly like, haha, yeah, go fuck yourself. Was kind of how it first came across to me. And
Big
so I,
up.
I loved it very much like go big up yourself in the face right now. You know what I mean? So that's kind of why I started saying it. And then it just became like something like I find is a nice way when you go into a channel and there's a lot of channels live and you just go in and you just say big ups, like secured. You know what I mean? Lets them know like I got you. I hit the like. I support you is the way I interpret it now. But at first it did come across as like a go fuck yourself in
Big
a
up
nice
your
way.
ass.
Yeah, go big up yourself in the face, you bastard. Something like that was what I was thinking. Big up Dry Roast Peanut. No panic if Maddison has to miss a few games. We have Gio. Do you think that? I mean, look, I said this all preseason that I hate Giovanni Lo Celso and I don't want him at my club. And he's one of the only people we could likely sell right now and get some cash. But this is before Harry Kane left. So now I'm kind of like the entire preseason he played in the James Maddison role. The entire preseason, and some would say he excelled in that position, and rightfully so. He had some goals, he had some assists. I never once, I think I said this a few weeks ago. If you need the evidence, Paul, if you're going to call the police and you want to see the data exchange, Paul, I'm going to tell you this. Go back a few weeks, and I talked about the fact that I think him being here is fine if he's depth at that position. There you go. Whoop, whoop. There, that's the sound of
Hold
the
up, boy.
police.
Hold up,
Whoop, whoop.
boy. I have a federal warrant.
But if Giovanni Lo Celso does stay, then I'm fine with him staying and playing that backup role to James Maddison should we need him to rest or injury like we just saw. But not only that, I just questioned, would Lo Celso be fine playing the bench guy who substitute appearances? Maybe now this is his chance to show the gaffer, don't worry, Ange. I am the man. I don't know. But Luca's not panicked. Seen a couple people mention it. Let me know how y'all feel in the chat. Are we worried if Maddison is out? Does Giovanni Lo Celso give us a seamless transition and we don't even notice? Personally, James Maddison, the way he played in these first two matches, unbelievable. Absolute ballerina. I love the way he plays. And in this last season, he showed the ability, not the ability, but the desire to get back, pick up the ball, and fucking drive forward. And that's something we don't get out of a lot of bastards last year, especially. So seeing him do that and do it effectively and well, and help us create on the counterattack. Really, when United were really wanting to stand in our face and have that fight we were trying to have. And they were up for it at first, but they weren't throughout the whole course of it. But James Maddison, throughout it, I thought he did a great job of picking up that ball and driving it
So
forward personally.
I'm acclimatized to players like Ollie Skip just running
Big up,
in a
Mr.
straight,
K.
or Lucas Moura running into a straight line just into players. And there was a time against Man United where Maddison picked up the ball near our own area, and he was just like heading to a couple of players, and I'm thinking, oh fucking hell, no! And then he just went, and then just pissed off up the pitch with the ball. It was, I'm just like, I couldn't believe what I was watching.
That's what I'm saying is I really, I asked the question. Let me ask you, Paul. I asked the question in the title. Is Ay Papi Chulo Mate Sarr undroppable at this? I know you don't like the nickname. I'm working on it. Maybe I take out the chulo. Maybe I just make it Ay Papi Mate Sarr.
Well, my nickname for him is Matasaurus because he's such a beast. He's
that's a good one.
You know, he's like a raptor.
I don't know why I just feel like in my heart an Ay Papi Mate Sarr is the way to go. That's where I feel in my soul. So like I can't, it's like you goatee. It's just like it came to me. It is there, and I feel it,
Well,
so
that's the way it is then, man.
That's the way. Yeah, that is the way it is. Big up, Captain Grandma says Spurs will be having a fire sale next week. Buy one, get one free. Not even buy one, get one half off. You can buy one, get one free. Now, I did hear there some. Wait, let me go back to Sarr. I almost moved on to another topic because I think we both are in agreement here, and there might not even be much of a discussion to have. I think no way you drop him next week or the week after, even though it's Fulham in the League's Cup. For me, I think he's undroppable. Do you think Papa Matasar is undroppable at this juncture?
Oh, let's get you some more viewers. No, he's crap. He's crap. Drop him. Drop him now. You're deluded. You're a deluded idiot for thinking Sarr's great.
Oh no.
I think the first. I was going back through some messages, and I think the first time he caught my eye was last January, and I saw this kid, and I thought he was brilliant on and off the ball, and I swapped a few messages with an old Spurs player that I won't name because I don't want to name drop, and it was a private conversation anyway, and he was impressed with him as well. So I mean, you can't drop him after what he did against Manchester United. For me, he was my player of the match. And there was only a struck match, really, between him and Basuma. But I thought Pape was just incredible.
Absolutely incredible. And this is the thing. Even in the first half, at halftime, I'm texting with Michael, and I'm saying, I mean, me and him are always just furiously texting each other throughout the match. I don't know why we don't just, like, grab on a face call or something, but we're both just furiously texting each other throughout the match, right? And at halftime, I'm like, man, Kulusevski's pissing me off. And he's like, Richarlison's really pissing me off. And I'm like, outside of that, though, I'm pretty pleased with what I've seen. We've been really giving it to them. They've been taking it and giving it back. Curious to see if that translates into the second half. And then I was like, but Papa Matasar has looked really good. The stage has not looked too big for the young man. And quite frankly, God, he's just such a beast. He's such a dog.
He gave. I think Man United underestimated Sarr because they were focused on Basuma. Like, Bruno Fernandes was up Basuma's ass for a lot of the first half.
Just real quick, look at this. I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for it, but just check this out. Get off me, Mason Mount. Get off me, Mason Mount. Get the fuck off me. Did you see that? One more time. Get off me, Mason. Get off me.
Who are you?
What a guy.
Brilliant.
I loved it. I saw that, and that's the thing that I've been harping on, that originally when I first saw him play in a Spurs, I think it was preseason under Conte, I was like, man, for a long, lengthy, kind of skinny-looking bloke, this guy really is girthy underneath it all. He must be just hiding muscle mass somewhere, but the way he's pushing a Premier League, quote unquote, Premier League proven. A lot of people were upset when Mason Mount went to United. A lot of Chelsea fans were upset. A lot of them celebrated, but a lot of them were upset as well. And the thing is, like, this guy's won a Champions League. He's been a part of a trophy winning side. So, like, you quote unquote, I don't like him. I don't know what position the guy plays. Mason Mount had 2 less touches than Richarlison's 28 touches on the day. So, and he played central mid. Like, at least Richarlison can say, I'm a striker. They didn't feed me the ball. But you're fucking center mid, bro. You got to be
Yeah.
the guy touching and connecting things, Shirley. But don't call me Shirley.
Yeah, so I think Sarr gave United so many problems that they had to, take their eye off Basuma, and then Basuma just came to life. And don't forget, Pepe Matasar, he's played at a World Cup, he's won an African Confederations Cup, so he's done it at the highest stage. It's not like he's some, wet behind the ears kids. He's kind of been there and done quite a lot in his career already.
Yeah, absolutely. Nikos Kosti says, big up Nikos. 11 minutes ago. So I'm 11 minutes behind in the chat. That just means y'all are absolutely killing it. Please do hit that like, or don't. Do whatever you want to do. But do support the channel. It's free. Hitting a like. Some people are YouTube chat members. Some people like the super chat. That's above and beyond. I like free personally. Hitting a like, subscribing, going on over to the Hotspur Hippie, hitting a like and subscribe over there as well to a great channel. Does wonders for us. Costs you absolutely nothing. So it's always a nice deal for you anyway. But Nikos Kosti says, would prefer Sonny to start as a central forward. He will score lots of goals. What do you guys think? For me, Nikos, I don't know how long you've tuned into the channel, but I've always said I'd prefer Sonny through the middle in this system. But after we saw Richarlison start in week 1, I really felt like, you know what, you got to stick this through at least 3 matches, because then you can look back at Richarlison and say, look, you had 3 consecutive starts and 3 consecutive atrocious performances, if that's what it is. But if he comes out, bags a brace versus Bournemouth, then you say, okay, at least he can score against, middle table, lower end table type, no respect to Bournemouth. They stayed up in great fashion, but they have sold like Lerma, which is one of their big cogs in their midfield there. So they, it remains to be seen what they can do this season. If they stay up, I think they will. But if he can go out there, get a couple goals, I think that changes the narrative. But at this juncture, it does look like Sonny's a better option in the central forward position than Richarlison, in my opinion. But I'd still think at least one more match. You got to see if Richarlison can do something. What about you, Paul? Do you give
Yeah,
Paul?
no, I'd
Do
go
you give
along with
Paul
that.
one more? Do you give
Yeah,
Richie one more?
I'll give him one more. Basically, because he did improve a bit. His first touch was always terrible, but in the second half, I did see signs that he was getting that a bit more under control. And I think Son had a really good game up on the left-hand side, though. So, I give him one more game. He's no share of me at the moment, but
Definitely not a share of me.
no, lest we forget.
Here's the thing. I was ready to do a Richarlison share on me episode, because I was like, if he gets a brace versus United or something, then everything changes. The whole world gets flipped up on side his head, because no one saw it coming, not even Spurs fans, not anybody. But he didn't do it. He had a kind of a stinker. You said you thought he looked better in the second half. To me, I thought he was pretty much
the
meh.
same.
The whole match was just thought meh. Same thing with Kulusevski. Like, he was okay. It wasn't like awful, but just meh. They were the 2 players that made me mad. All the other players, I don't. Other than the time that Bruno got in behind our back line for that atrocious header that he had. Outside of that, I didn't really get upset with our back line either. And it was one of the first times in a long time that I remember not being upset with at least one cog in that machine. What did you make of the back line, Paul? Did you feel pretty good about what you saw?
Yeah,
we always knew we were going to concede goals, but we didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's football, isn't it? You're not going to, and I don't give a shit about clean sheets anyway. If you score 5 goals, they've got to score 4 and they still lose. So,
Well, you know who cares about clean sheets the most? Mothers and caretakers of the home, or else you have to wash them. You have to wash those sheets if they're not clean.
Mickey Van der Ven, he got caught out a couple of times early on, but then he grew into it. I think the main thing I'm happy about is him and Romero are starting to build a nice little partnership there, a bit of understanding. And also Pedro Porro, in the first half early on, he was standing off his man a bit too far. And I was thinking, oh, come on, man, get into him. Like Udogie on the other side. As soon as the guy was on the ball, Udogie was in his face, come at me, come at me. But then Porro managed to use his speed to sort of balance out his other defensive deficiencies and took care of Rashford. And it was just so nice that whenever the ball went to the back, I wasn't just shitting myself thinking, oh, they're going to fuck around with it. They're going to lose the ball and pass it to Rashford or Fernandes. It didn't happen. So The nearest we got to that was Hoiberg's hospital pass. So there's only one in the whole game. Yeah, I think the defence is looking pretty good now.
Yeah, I wasn't upset with defense at all, not one bit. Um, Mr. K says, big up Mr. K says, is it me or did it feel that our team felt more insecure when Højbjerg came on? Maybe my head is full of past trauma. Could very well be like all the rest of us, hopeless romantics for Tottenham Hotspur. But I just thought he did the thing. I don't know if the team felt more insecure. Ange Postecoglou didn't look happy with him there on the touchline. There in his manager box. Did not look upset with Højbjerg. Kept driving it back towards the middle, I think is when it was. But for me, I just think Højbjerg, there was a comment I had up earlier from someone. Højbjerg is the good, the bad, and the ugly. And he does all three at once. Like, he can't go a match. Doesn't matter if it's 20 minutes versus United or it's all 90 under a Jose Mourinho. He's going to do a good thing, a bad thing, and then something ugly. And we got to see all that in a very short appearance from him. So, did you feel like the team felt maybe more insecure when Højbjerg was out there, like they can't trust the guy?
No, look, because again, like mainly because I suppose I'm used to Højbjerg being, a bit bog standard, especially when he was playing with Skip last year. So I take anything, man. I get excited over anything. That bit where Højbjerg got the ball and like spun on the sideline and went up with it, I thought, bloody hell, even Pierre can play fancy football under Ange Postecoglou. So I didn't really feel that, I thought we already had the game stitched up anyway. I thought, sometimes you have a feeling when a game's going on and you just think, this is ours, man. There's no way we can lose this game. And, that's the way I was feeling. Nothing could have burst my bubble.
Well, I like that nothing can burst your bubble. Because Chelsea couldn't burst the bubbles of West Ham yesterday neither. So I don't know if you saw that result, Paul, but that was a fun one. I hate both of them, but it's great to see Chelsea in the mud just because of the Pochettino thing. He unzipped his thing and he was going full cape, letting the gut out. He was letting it all hang out.
Is he still got the one that's just a little bit too small for him?
Yeah, but see, I think the more frustrated he gets as he's... Take that, Bishop. Let the puppies breathe. You know how you, after Thanksgiving, when you... and you just take a big... exhale. Yeah.
That's it.
It was like that, but I think a lot more frustrated because he was getting his ass whooped. So it was kind of funny. Caicedo, they spent all this summer talking, doing this last January as well. All this Caicedo, this and that. And he gave away a penalty when they needed a goal. And it was quite funny, actually. It's ironic how football does that, right? When everyone doubting Ange, guess what? 4 points out of 6. Everyone's talking to us a little bit nicer now around the block. I don't know about you, Paul, but the broadcasters, all of a sudden, they say, no Harry Kane, no problem. It's interesting. And then now Harry Kane's getting love as well from ESPN because he's no longer a part of Spurs. ESPN is super biased against Spurs. And now that he's not there, they're big upping him all the time.
I was a little bit annoyed's too strong a word, but maybe disappointed. A lot of the media coverage I saw was all about, how did Man United lose to Spurs? Man United off the boil. Instead of, if it was the other way around, they'd be all saying, Man United, brilliant. Why aren't they saying, yet Spurs were brilliant? Because we were brilliant. We beat them. We just kicked their ass. But I didn't see too much stuff saying that. It was more focusing on the downfalls of Man United than the uplifting, the uprising of Tottenham Hotspur.
Well, you know what? The same thing we've been talking about most of the show, Paul. I just think is once people realize how great this fucking barbecue is that Ange is cooking for us, everyone's going to be jumping in the pool, getting wasted, having a great time. And it's going to be like one of those movies where it's everyone partying a little bit too hard and the po-po show up and they say, whoop, whoop. And then they end up joining the party because they see what Ange is cooking. Show me the evidence. Sun City's finest and the boys in blue. Lo Celso will be okay, says Beer Talk. 2 months without Matters is tough. Emotionally, I don't like it. L says, yes, worried if Maddison's out. The game is completely different with him. Lo Celso will back up as best. Yeah, I think that is best. Big up Jordan Hyman in the house. This isn't an open panel, but every Friday I do the pop up with Jacob. You're more than welcome on Fridays, my friend, to join me on that Friday show. It's call-in. Welcome to anybody. Sarr is unsellable, says Chris Peters. Did you see? I'm sure you saw.
I did.
A lot of top European clubs were in for him this summer, and Ange Postecoglou said, "Go fuck yourself. No,
No
thank you.
more bets.
No, thank you." Papa Mata Star says seems mad. Big up seems mad. Got a little peace logo in there. Love the
Yeah.
vibes. Anyone new checking in the house, please do let me know where you're tapping in from. Got a new flurry of Australian followers, so good morning to any of them. And then also good evening to all the UK listeners. I know it's almost midnight there, so hope you're doing well. Chris Peters, as is Biz. Yeah, Basuma is absolutely unsellable. We finally got the player that we thought we were getting from Brighton, right, Paul?
I think we've got a better player than the one from.
Ooh.
I think so, man.
The thing
so.
is, when he was with Brighton, every time we played him, I was like, this guy is the reason why we suck versus Brighton. And I never rated Brighton before, you know, but now they're obviously a little bit better than they used to be. But like for the last like 3-4 years was just like, oh, for these bastards. But it was always Basuma bossing it. And I was just like, can Spurs please sign this man for 2 years? Michael and I are like, would love this guy. He's the reason why we suck versus Brighton every single time. And we signed him. I have his shirt. I have a 38 shirt because I had that much belief that this guy is that talented. And I don't necessarily think it's that he failed in a Conte system either. I think it was that he was suffering from long COVID. He got given a chance. He failed. And there was no love. There was no arm around him to say, don't worry, I'm going to give you another chance. This isn't the end of it. It was Antonio Conte being Antonio Conte, which is his style is successful and what it works at. But, you know, for some of our players, it just doesn't work. There's a new day and age, this era, where some players, you know, that hard-nosed manager, the cold shoulder, perform to make daddy give you love type of manager. Some players just really don't respond well to that. And I think Basuma was one of those. But a lot of people saying Conte has blood on his hands because of the way he treated Sarr, Basuma, and some of these other players. I don't know. I would say if Conte wasn't here, we might not have been able to sign Destiny Udogie. Excuse me, Destiny Ugodi. I don't think we would have signed him if we didn't have Antonio Conte, or at least Paratici. Are we giving praise to Mr. Fabio behind bars Paratici, who's actually not behind bars, he's just behind the scenes?
I'm still a bit hit and miss on him. I don't know. Maybe now that Conte's gone, because you know, every time we were linked with a player, not so much now, but maybe a year ago, it was always from Serie A, from the Italian league. And it's like, oh, come on, you've got to look around the rest of the world as well, man. You know, there's lots of good players. So I don't know. I'm not cared either way because I think Ange is in control. No matter what director of football and all this comes in, Scott Mann or whoever, all these layers of fat
Gabbanini.
Taking their cut. Ange is the man. That's it.
Ange is the man, and that is it. Big up Phil Coy's in the house saying big up was at the game. The atmosphere was electric. Great team performance. Basuma hands down was man of the match with Sarr as a standout. Come on, you Spurs. Paul, I don't know if I asked you, who was your man of the match and who would you give your BDE award? Michael and I, after good performances, we always give out man of the match and BDE award. And BDE is just who brought that big dig energy to the match, who brought it, laid it out, and was not afraid to flaunt it.
All right. I think Sarr was my man of the match, but I mean, you know, whether it's Basuma or Sarr, I think they were both incredible. BDE, I'll probably give it to Vicario because I thought he was outstanding. And so, I was so happy because, oh, fuck me, man. You know, I mean, there's been negative and there's been negative. And what I saw of Vicario in pre-season and the game against Brentford, I thought, I like this guy. He's a nutcase. He's vocal. He takes risks. He's got personality. That he's gonna, you know, with a guy like that, you've got more chance of him flourishing to dominate his own penalty box, you know, and that's what I think he's gonna do. And he was fantastic. So Vicario, man.
Scott M coming in with the comment says he's undroppable because there isn't any quality on the bench if Giovanni Lo Celso is starting for Maddison, but he is okay. Not really near as good as people pretend, says Scott. In regards to
Pretending,
Lo
eh?
Celso, I think he's meaning. I never thought he was that good. At least not for Spurs. He never showed it anyway. Um, let's see. Fernando Mustachio. Kulu, Perisic, and Domble Højbjerg plays sometimes higher up for Denmark. Divine. There's a lot of options for an attacking mid centrally. I don't know about Højbjerg. I
I
don't know
don't know
about
about
Højbjerg, but then
Dombele.
Domble,
Nah.
maybe he doesn't go because we end up needing him to play. What if James Maddison? It turns out they come back with a scan. They said, you know what, we're going to need to operate on this. And then we're looking at longer than just a normal stress fracture. And we
Yeah.
might need somebody because Giovanni Lo Celso is only going to give you about 2 games before he goes to the physio room for a paycheck. And then who do we have? Divine and Dombele? Kulu? I've heard people talk about Kulu there. I don't
I'd
know.
go. I'd go. I'd go to Celso, man. I'm not a big fan of his either, but he showed enough in pre-season. I thought, oh well, maybe he wants to have a crack.
For
And I
the re-
like the. Sorry.
sorry to interrupt you, Paul. Chris Peters says girthy, what it relates to in England. I just want to let you know, girthy is not just a word used to describe a male's genitalia.
If you don't
I
like the quality, feel the width, love.
Yeah, some say it's not about the length, it's about the girth. But this is not what I'm referring to. Girth is just like this kangaroo, this stuffed animal has got some girth in it. You know what I'm saying? Like girthy's not let's not but anyway, if your mind wants to take it there, I am not one to stop you. Sinisteria from Leeds would be good. Now I know he and Wilfred Noto, the young Italian winger, they both are wanting to leave. I don't think they want to play in the championship. So they could be 2 deadline day pickups potentially. Richie sulks too much, says seems mad. I think he does get in his feelings a little bit. I do have something about that, Paul, that I want to share. He talked about the fact that because he was pretty upset when he got subbed off, if you remember.
Yep.
But he came out and said, "No, it wasn't about me being subbed off. I can't find it, but it
He
wasn't."
was
He said it
pissed off
wasn't
at
about being
himself.
subbed off. He was more pissed off with himself.
Yeah.
So that's good. There's a little accountability there because last season it was like Conte wasn't nice to me and lectured me for 2 hours, which I mean, whatever you make of that what you want. But big up Alexander Hilton in the house. Steak indeed. Zapur says, what if Richie only gets 1 goal next match? Then what? One more game, then one more game after that. Where does it end? He didn't earn the start for this year. Son did. I think it's a tough one because when your star talisman striker leaves and Harry Kane, you say, who is our next striker? And that would lend you to the thought process of Richarlison. And that Son would be better suited on the left. At least that's what we tried all preseason. Because at not one point in the preseason did we try Heung-min Son down the middle. So I don't think that was ever really. We got to see 20 minutes of it versus United, and I thought he looked way better in the role than Richarlison looked in 60 minutes or so. So I agree that Son should start up there. But if he gets 1 goal next match, then yeah, 1 more game. And if he gets no goals, the run of games that we have is highly favorable to testing things out. So I think we will see some switch arounds. What about you, Paul?
Yeah. And I think a plan B of Son up the middle and bring on Manuel Solomon in Son's role, I think would work. But yeah, if he gets a goal next game, I think that's good enough for unless we win 7-0 and he only gets one of them. But if it's a 2-0 win and he gets 50% of our domination, then give him another go. He does worry me because he looks like a footballer, but he just doesn't bloody act like one sometimes. He's got the posture, the poise. He kind of has the posture of a footballer when he does stuff, but he's shit. But I'm hoping he comes good. I really am.
I've come to this thought process with Richarlison. He's either the most unlucky footballer in the world right now, or he's just not good right now. It's one of those because How often, even in the United match, there's a ricochet in the middle of the box. The keeper's on the ground. Where does the ball go? Behind him. And I just thought, I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's kind of unlucky. Or was that him not being in a better position? And so then I start wondering, how many times does this actually happen where there's like a rebound type goal where you could just tap it in? If you're a Mitrovic, if you're an Olivier Giroud, you're just waiting for that ball to ricochet and tap it in and get your goal and be done with it. And it's like he doesn't. Why are you always just
he doesn't
on
get
this
himself.
side of the fucking ball, dude? Why
That's
are you
that's
not
that, that,
so
that's like
frustrating?
that's like one of my main concerns. Like one is his first touch is lousy, and the other one is like you say, man. He never finds himself in space in a scoring position. Yeah, he kind of runs into players, and you know, like okay, a centre forward. Oh, he's in the right place at the right time, but you know, when they do it again and again and again, good centre forwards, you've got to think there's not luck in there. They've just got to, you know, they kind of understand if I'm here, the ball's more likely to come to me. And Richarlison, like that one against United, where it went just to his left hand, to his right hand side, it's like, yeah, dude, but if maybe if you had, he's not, he's not that. That's all I'm going to say,
He
man.
is
He's
no
not that.
Cherami. You see, the Cherami's missing a foot, lost in action,
In
lost in
battle.
battle. That's what I'm saying. War hero. Just a harmless potato says, let Agent Poch do his job. Well, yeah, I guess we shouldn't be
He's a
saying
role.
Poch out. Yeah, we shouldn't. We shouldn't be saying it. Apparently, Poch could wear a trash bag and he would look marvelous. Says Scott M. Wow. Um, that's funny. He does look good in a suit. I cannot say, but you know what? He didn't look good versus West Ham. He wasn't wearing a suit. He was wearing the trainers. He looked a little rough. Looked like he slept in his car the night before. Maybe he's in the doghouse. I don't know. Amazing 1 billion payroll, says J Cole. Let me get a chunk of that. Let me get a chunk of that. Fernando Mustachio Paquita dominated Caicedo. Yeah, he also dominated the betting books. He'll soon be sitting with Ivan Toney at the bookies lounge, just placing
Oh
bets.
yeah.
Which actually, did you see that Ivan Toney spoke out today? He
I,
actually spoke
I, I
about
know
the
he has.
situation. He said, I wasn't betting on anything hard. I was always betting on myself to score first. That's where all his bets came from, was he bet on himself to be the first goal scorer
Oh
of every
man.
match because he was literally betting on himself. What do you think about
Well,
that?
I'm totally against gambling anyway for personal reasons. Not that I've never been a gambler. I've never gambled my whole life, and I just think, dude, what you need, that extra thrill, that extra buzz, that extra, £1,000 when you're on, 50, 100 grand or whatever a week, man. It's no, even betting on yourself is ridiculous. Is ridiculous, man. It's just
Interesting.
one small thing. Okay, if you're going to earn all this money playing football, condition is you can't gamble, and I think it's fair enough because you could say, oh well, I'm not even playing in that game, but you might have a friend in that game, or sports people know sports people. It just sucks. It absolutely sucks. So for
Hmm.
him to say, oh, I'm a victim of circumstance, well, he's a fucking idiot because he knew the rules, man.
Yeah. He did a little bit play the victim part of like, oh, it wasn't anything malicious like betting on yellow cards, kind of throwing shade to the Lucas Paqueta thing. And I thought it was interesting because, you know what, I like the mindset at least to say, I'm betting on myself to go for, but I mean, obviously it's not the most wise choice. If part of the rules and stipulations of you being a professional athlete in this league is you're not allowed to make bets like that. I
Yeah.
mean, but I see it as like if Mike Tyson placed a bet, I'm gonna knock this fucker out in the first round. I would be like, shit, he probably will. So I don't know. A little bit of he's like, are we being too harsh and mean when we look at a player like Mason Greenwood, who I've seen a lot of fans come to his defense? I don't want to make this a Mason Greenwood discussion in the slightest because the vibes are immaculate, but I'm just drawing comparison. There have been people who've been accused of atrocious crimes and they come back and play still. And it's interesting because, a man betting on himself to perform well, it's a little bit different than him saying, I'm betting that we're going to lose and that I'm going to get a yellow card in the 60th minute. And then every time he fucking hits those bets because he does it.
Oh,
That's
all right. Well
different
then,
than.
no, it's still this is still it's still wrong because say it's like he like had over 100 counts of gambling, so he likes a flutter. That gives him a bit of a, you know, I'm assuming it gives him a bit of a hit, that endorphin rush. So he's got an unfair advantage if he's betting on himself then, because he's going to get that. He's feeling that, you know. So like it's more of a motivation. So if every other centre forward is sticking by the rules and not having that steroid boost through going to Betfred or whatever bollocks they go through, then it's still cheating.
At halftime, you don't think that's a little motivational? Goes into the Bet365 and says, I'm gonna get a fucking 2 goals in the second half, man. And then he goes out and bags 2 goals in the second half.
Just one more. Just one more.
Give me 5 minutes. The bet's almost going through. Yeah, it's interesting. Big up Inthaj in the house. Enjoying the stream. Glad you're enjoying it. Please do hit that like if you are enjoying it. I see we are at 102 likes. We hit over 100 again. So that is 6 out of 6 live shows have all hit over 100. So I just want to say thank you to every single one of y'all that hit that like button. Also, thank you to everyone who participated in the poll so far. 151 votes. It's about 50 people who participated in the poll but didn't like the video. I don't really know how I'm supposed to feel about that, if I'm honest. But hopefully y'all like the video anyway, after the fact, maybe. Zortex in the house. Big up Zortex. How long is Maddison out for? It's looking like 4 to 8 weeks is what I'm hearing from the people, in the experts in the chat so far. That's what I'm hearing. Big up Big Steve says sub to the Mancunian way. Sarr signed with you guys like a ninja. Didn't see anything on it after like 2 years of rumors every window about Sarr coming to the Premier League. Here's the thing. We did the deal like we did the Destiny Ugodi deal with Udinese. Yeah. We bought him and loaned him back for a year, and then we got him. So we did that with Sarr. And then we didn't loan him out again. That was it, right?
Didn't we go to Lille? Or no? Or is that where we got
that's
him
where
from?
we got him from was okay. Metz.
Metz, that's right.
Yeah, and then we loaned him back there. And apparently we do that with certain players because we're like, oh, these other clubs are in for him. This club doesn't really want to sell him yet. But if we just give him 10, 15 mil, they're like, yes, I'm a small club. I like that. That's a big chunk of change. You get that right now, and you get the player for this season. But after these 12 months, he's ours. And I like that. We did that with... and that's the thing that I was almost bringing up, Paul. I want to ask you about Mr. Fabio Paratici. Are these masterclass deals? Look at how they're paying dividends at this juncture. Or am I getting ahead of myself?
Oh, look,
sorry, David. I'm not meaning to curse.
I just thought, you know, I like that crispy feeling of getting a player, signing them, and then playing them. But what you've said makes perfect sense.
That is a good feeling, yeah.
I've never really thought about it that way. And... it's worked with the doggy and it's worked with Sarr, hasn't it? So I don't know if it's worked quite so well doing it the other way around or whatever the hell we did with Brian Hill. But
that was a strange one. That is the one, you know. I was talking with Dave from the Irish Hotspur about this, and he was asking us before a show, I was like, how do you feel about Paratici now? You know, I'm like, yeah, but he's always going to have that one stick in the road, that Brian Heel deal. It's just like, what the hell was that? You know, it never makes sense to me. Big up Dry Rose Peanut. Our 11's looking decent. Let's see. Let's see when we have to use our should players. Did you mean our shit players? I don't know what you mean. Drake Box fan. Maddison getting scanned. More scans, all the scans. Neutral football fans in the house. Basuma has had one good game. Let's calm down. But United game was very impressive. He's had 2 man of the match performances. 2. So technically it's 2 really good games. And if you want to talk about the preseason, he had a fantastic preseason. Was balling all preseason. I'm just saying, we do need to calm down. I appreciate people coming in here telling me to calm down.
Calming down. You can't. God, why calm down?
Why
I'm not going to calm down.
Okay.
Bollocks.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, if you want to be calm, you be calm. I'm not being calm. I'll do what I want.
And big up to this Korean user. I don't know how to read your name. I don't know what that says, but big up with some cool emojis. I see you in the chat. Big up. Joan Neth. Hi, Jacob. Got through T.S. Hillary out here in California. Got through... Oh, Tropical Storm Hillary. Big up,
Ah,
Joan. Hope y'all are keeping well. I do want to say shout out to everybody.
whereabouts in the California desert are you there, Joan? Because I've been around there a fair bit. Be curious. Is it like Bombay Beach, somewhere like that?
Ooh,
The Salton
Bombay.
Sea.
Yeah. Let us know, Joan. I'm glad you're good. I'm glad you're well. Hug your family tight and keep safe. Hopefully you're not too out of. And them shit's crazy, man. Hurricanes, tropical storms, when they hit them
Oh,
coasts, it's nothing you want to play with. Puerto Rico got hit pretty bad a few years back. I remember that vividly. Houston's been hit, Galveston a bunch of times. Like, yeah, it's nothing to play with, and it doesn't really happen out there in California as far as I know.
not in the
But big
desert.
up.
That's what I'm finding weird, isn't it? Hey, it's usually coastal, but bloody hell, man. Good, you're okay.
Yeah, I'm really glad you're okay. Respect the cook. Do I gotta go back to putting some meatball sauce on his name, Paul? Because I've been
Yeah,
calling him
yeah.
I've been calling him Paratici,
Paratici.
but do I gotta put a Paratici?
Paratici.
Paratici. All right, I guess I'll go back to it. Basuma didn't work in a two-man center mid, says Jazz Fusion. I think he could. I think he could. Just didn't really get the right opportunity, I think. I show skills in the house. You have to give credit to Paratici. The man has brought some quality players. He absolutely has. When you look at a lot of the pieces that we're praising right now, he was in charge of bringing that man. So, you know what? Who cares what did he even do at Juventus? I don't even care. It's in Italy. What did he do? Was it bad, egregious, or was it
I think
like
it's like
clerical shit?
he was inflating the price of players, I think, to book value and fair play, and I don't know.
So clerical bullshit that I don't
It's
actually
just
care
red
about.
tape, man. It's like
Uh,
getting Al Capone on tax evasion. I mean, I'm not saying Paratici is involved in anything more
Here's a
sinister,
good point Zapur brings up. I like him. He's willing to go to jail for whatever club he runs. What a guy. That's what I'm saying. If you don't have a dog willing to take the fall for the crew, then you know he ain't much of a dog to you at all.
well,
Um,
it looks like he sure ain't a rat, at least.
Scott M's giving Paratici no credit. He's done a horrible job. None is deserved, says Scott.
Is he not a Spurs fan?
Yeah, he loves Spurs.
Okay.
I
You're a
agree.
broad
I agree,
church.
Big Steve. Defensive minded time. I mean, I don't want to go back to defensive minded tactics. You've given me a taste of the fast life. That's it. I can't go
Yeah.
back to sitting on the house on the hill, rocking in my rocking chair on the porch, waiting for the cows to come home and the
You've just
chickens to
been you.
roost.
It's like you've just been partying on methamphetamine and bath salts, and then
I can't go back to reading a book in a no electricity home.
a Jolt Cola. Is this it? You know.
Uh, Big up. Mr. K says Sarr man of the day, but BDE goes to Basuma. Very good answer. And Vicario was BDE for sure. Kept us in that game, quite frankly. When
Oh yeah.
it was 0-0, he kept us in that match. He kept it from flipping on its head a little bit because things would have changed dramatically. Their confidence goes up, ours wavers a little, and then you never know. Then it's more of a gunfight at that point. But I thought he saved us at 0-0. He kept us on top when we were up 1-0, and then even when we were up 2-0, he kept us up. So
Yeah.
big shout out to the second Premier League start ever, and he's playing like that. Talk to me nicely. BDE Shirley Basuma 2 in a row, says Luca. Good shout. BDE was Sunny always, says J Co.
Yeah. Why
Good
not?
shout. Yeah, why not? He was much improved in my opinion. Um, Big up beer talk. I thought that was your BDE. Zeddy, Zedi. BDE was for sure Vicario. Venom is a madman. Yeah, he's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But so was I. When I played goalie, I was a bit of a madman behind the scenes. You hear me screaming all match,
Got to be nuts.
blah, going
You got to be
crazy.
nuts in the
Yeah,
head because you're gonna get kicked in the head now and then. So you've got to be up for it.
you
I
gotta have
really
a
liked him.
little.
I liked him from the get go. You know, I like when we signed him instead of because I was keen on Raya, but the more I saw about Vicario, I thought, oh no, we could get him. I mean, not the fact that he was just cheaper. I somehow like the cut of his jib, man, his energy.
I agree with you. And I just realized the chat refreshed. I am so far behind the freaking chat. I'm not gonna lie, but
It's a
I
good
did see
problem to
this.
have, man.
Man, I'm falling apart.
Usually,
Falling
I'm usually
apart.
chatting there. You know, I'll get two chats and I'm just sort of tap dancing for 10 minutes, and you've got the luxury of everyone wants to dance with you, Jacob. You know, it's a good problem, man.
Being a big lad, I've got plenty of room for people to join in on the dance, and I'm glad we still have over 112 of y'all tapping in with us this evening
Wow.
or morning, wherever you're at. And we've got 114 likes. I love y'all. That's it. I'm done asking for likes. We have as many likes as many people watching, but we do have about 50 of y'all that want to hit a like or want to participate in the poll and call Ange your papa, but you don't want to hit a like, and that's cool too. DeFarsher says the Nuama bidding seems to be warming up. Looks like we might be galvanized into bidding before getting rid of the deadwood. Now, if you remember, Paul, from the other stream I did talk about this cat that we were linked with, Ernest Nuama, the Ghanaian. He's 19 years old. He plays striker for a Denmark team that I cannot pronounce their name, Nordstrand or something like that. We'll never know how to pronounce it. I'll share it with you real quick so y'all can see it. Just because I did, I am talking about it right now. But this guy right here.
You beat me to it. When you said I mentioned it to you before, Paul. I thought you were going to say, I expect my guests to have their research ready like I do when I come on your stream. So I was just getting it up there.
I never did that, for the record. I never did that.
No.
Those are false accusations. I'm going to beat the case. Don't worry. I've got all the evidence lined up.
Raven, open up.
Open up. Show me the evidence.
I want stool samples. I want mouth swabs.
Hair follicles. Down to the follicles.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Pick up Rich. I hope this isn't true. Rich says Matt probably went into the medical team with a hurt toe. He's got a stubbed toe and came out with a hairline fracture.
Just bang that in. That's all right. You'll be good to go.
Big up Christopher LaPlante, another YouTube chat member in the house. To catch up in the chat, I'm just going to read anyone that's a YouTube chat member. Sorry, but there's just a lot of people that are chiming in, and I want to get to all of y'all. I hope no one feels excluded. If you do have something particular you want to say, you can super chat it, or free option. You don't have to super chat. Free option. Put a Q, and I will star it. It will help me see when I'm scrolling. If you have a queue and then ask your question, I will star it. We'll ask later, because I don't want to only ask questions for people that's got a couple bucks for a super chat. I want to ask questions. I want to make sure, anyone who's got a question, like Christopher LaPlante says, how's it going, Paul and Jay? It's going well. I'm too blessed to be stressed, my friend. I hope you are too. Kaylee Davis says, does Richie have the yips? Do we say the Y word? Are we allowed to say yips around here?
Yeah, yips. Do you not heard the word yips before?
No, I have heard it, but there's the old superstitious, not little stitious, superstitious. If you're superstitious and not a little stitious, then saying yips is apparently a curse. Like if you say it, then officially now he has the yips for sure. But if gotcha. It's like you don't speak about it kind of thing is the way that it's.
He doesn't have the yips. He's just shit at the moment.
There you go.
Right? Can you say shit?
I'm gonna keep scrolling through. Let me see when the next Scott's talking to somebody there, and another Scott talking to somebody there. I'm catching up if I'm skipping like this. Scott says under Paratici, we finished 7th, 4th, thanks to Conte 8th. Our center back is a major issue. Right back an issue. Keeper is an issue. I don't think keeper is an issue. Striker is an issue. That's an issue. And we have 0 depth. That is terrible. We're all right, man. It's not that bad, bro. Come on. I don't think it's that bad. Scott. I hope you're okay, Scott. I got a hug for you, buddy. Don't you worry about that. Tequila's in the house. Big up Tequila. I'm confused. The title said Ange was playing on his NES. Was he playing Super Mario Brothers or Mike Tyson Punch-Out? I need to know. Let me ask you. You're the Ange whisperer, Paul. You're my lifeline into Ange's mind. What kind of NES game is Ange Postecoglou going to play?
Tetris, I reckon.
Because he knows how to find the pieces to fit them in.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you did there. That's a good one. Big up Batu in the house as well. Says, after having to watch Conte ball, we're well within our rights to feel excited about the potential of this team.
Damn right, man.
Fair enough. Chris Peters, hope your wife was all right during that craziness. Mario Kart. I hope he's a Mario Kart fan, but if he plays me at the Wario and Super Mario 8 right now, the one that's out right now, go look at the world records and you'll see me up there, top
Oh,
15 in
wow.
Wario. So in the world, top 15. I used to be top 10, but then a bunch of people beat me and I still can't beat my old score. So just for any Mario Kart players out there, come at me. I'm just saying, come at me. I'll give you my Switch ID. I don't give a shit. We can run it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's a good one. A good little 2-player co-op. He cooked the bugs. Oh, that's right. He did cook the bugs. I'm not too upset about that. Let's see here. Scott, haven't. C. Sherman got the membership. Look at that. Big up, C. Sherman, grabbing that membership. Big up yourself right now. Going above and beyond the call of booty. The Call of Duty, I should have said, but I like booty more. So the Call of Booty, he went above and beyond. He's liked, he's subscribed, and he's a YouTube chat member now, and he's also a Patreon member. So shout out C. Sherman for being doubly goated, and appreciate everything you do for the channel. Big up yourself. Let's see here. Let me change this. We're not talking about Ernest Numa. Richie isn't quick enough to catch the yips, says Defarsher. That's a good one.
Oh, he's
Big up
quick
J.
enough.
Co as well. Premier Hotspur TV, big up Premier Hotspur TV, evening guys. Imagine Harry Kane in this Tottenham side.
Nah, he's dead to me.
Oh,
Yeah, yesterday's man.
I
Although,
think we'd have 6 points right now if Harry Kane
you
was
know
still
what, I
here.
was having, just on Harry Kane. So I had a chat with a mate of mine in England who was actually, he went to the game on the weekend. And his theory was that Harry Kane has actually done us a solid by
Ooh,
uh, by agreeing to this move and giving Tottenham a load of money for it. So he was kind of more relaxed about Harry Kane going because, instead of him going next year on a free or having to sign a contract with get out clauses, he agreed to, he wanted to go to Bayern, but made sure that we got a load of money for him as well. So maybe that was a cool thing he did, But I'm
that
glad
could be
he's
a
not
cool.
here.
Yeah. Big up C. Sherman. Says he just wanted the emblem next to his name. And then big up Beer Talk, talking about Conte here. Antonios Vorrias in the house. Question. Good day, Jacob. Good day, Paul. If Tosin were to come in, would you bench Romero, move Romero to right back and bench Porro, bench Tosin, other? What would you do? Paul, I'll let you go first, being the guest here.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, I would not bench Romero. Not in a million years. I think he's fantastic. I'm liking Romero and Van de Ven at the moment. We
Me
need some
too.
cover because there's going to be yellow cards and red cards and suspensions and
Mm-hmm.
maybe injuries. So bench him, but maybe rotate him. Cut games or something like that.
For me, Antonios Vorrias, I would say get Tosin, make him our third option, and bring him in as a substitute when whoever it is may have a yellow, Romero, Van de Ven, whoever,
Yeah,
or even if it's Ugodi, even if it's him, think about it this way. You move Van de Ven out there at left back, put
yeah.
Tosin in
That's
there
why
at the left side
I
center
was,
back.
I
You
was
know what I
glad
mean?
we signed Van de Ven just because of what you said there, Jacob. Because he's more versatile. Maybe he taps over, we've forgotten about now. Maybe he's a
Yeah.
better player, but Van de Ven I like because of his versatility, because he's left-footed.
That's a good point. CQ, I've been scrolling up for a minute. I don't see it. Could you put your question back in? Or your comment about Richie. Sorry if I missed it. There's been, every time this thing refreshes, there's more and more because y'all are absolutely killing it today. Absolutely killing it. My wife said she's been watching too. Hi, wife. Hi. Wave to my wife, Paul.
Hey, hello,
There you go. Wave to my
hello,
wife.
g'day.
Well, she said it's on mute, so we don't technically have to say hi, but there you go. Sorry if sorry I missed your comment though, Cube. Kelvin says, "Big up Jacob, big up Kelvin. Caveman in the house. Quiz, 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 quiz. I appreciate you being here. Big up Daniel Field as well. Drive Rose says, "I'll beat you at Mario Kart. Be easy, Jacob, bruh. You don't know. You don't want. Ask my wife. All right, ask my wife, and she'll tell you." She can't. She's like, I never win. I never win. Honestly, I don't let people win. I don't. I just win. That's what I do. I take first place and I never give it back when it comes to Mario Kart. So Peanut, hit me up, DM me on any of the socials. I'll send you my Nintendo Switch friend ID and we'll get this game going. Foot Mob Games with a well, that's weird. Zortex, where do you think we will place this season? I'm saying 6. Paul's saying first, right?
Yeah. Why not?
All right. C Cubed, Richie's full comments were blaming his performance on not getting past the ball, so not fully taking accountability. Interesting. I thought I had the quotes bookmarked somewhere, but apparently I didn't. Apparently I didn't. I thought I did. I don't know. What do you make of this, Paul? Richarlison. He was more blaming it on the fact that he didn't get past the ball enough. So he actually wasn't taking full accountability.
I can't remember the exact quote myself at the moment, and if I was a good guest, I'd have researched this for you. But I remember when I read his quote, I thought he was kind of taking accountability, you know.
Okay. Okay. Letting my wife know we just shouted her out, by the way. Sorry, I'm digressing from the show, but gotta always show love to the women that hold us down, or technically hold us up and propel us to better things. See, Sherman, newest YouTube chat member, isn't that nice? You got the badge by your name. I just texted her wrong now. She's like, "Who's her?" I said, "We just shouted you out," but instead of you, I said, "We just shouted her out," and I messed it up. So whoops. Just got myself in trouble. See, Sherman says, bench Tosin, bring him in late for defensive help. Exactly. That's what I think. And then who knows? Maybe he will prove to be. I just, the thing at the end of the day, no matter who we bring in at any position, I trust Ange Postecoglou to only put in the best. Just got sent something, a tweet. Oh, the Richarlison's comments. I'm gonna pull that up in a second. Scott Culver says, I don't think Tosin will come to be a backup as center back. Allegedly, he's already agreed with Monaco, is what I've heard. I believe Romero is fine, but you can swap Tosin with him moving to right back sometimes. Absolutely, Adekunle. I don't believe that that's out of the realm of possibility. Question, do you think we need midfield reinforcements for when we lose Bissouma and Sarr to AFCON, says Batu. Paul, throw this one to you.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I don't know how many games that affects, but that's in January, isn't it? So maybe we could pull an Arsenal last year and just get matches postponed for, you know, no reason. But yeah, well, maybe it's worth keeping Højbjerg around, Højbjerg and Lo Celso. I mean, it's not. I mean, he's good, obviously, but yeah. Buying a midfielder in just for January, though, I don't know if that's cool.
Yeah. People saying hello to my wife in the chat. So lovely. Thank you for that. Cube says, why don't I have the emblem? I'm a member. Do you not have an emblem by your name, Cubes? Is it because you're a moderator? No, even if you're a moderator, it should be next there. So I don't know. Maybe you got to like activate it or like choose to have it displayed. I don't know. I like the little emblems. I think they're kind of cool personally. Big. So Gyros, you don't even have a console. Oh, you just wanted to wind me up. Okay, Peanut. I see you. We are going to be ending the show here very, very shortly. So please do get any last minute questions you want before I end this thing off. And do go subscribe also to the Hotspur Hippie as well. He's on the road to 1,500. Y'all can help him get there. It's a great place to be. And I do appreciate everyone who's checked in. Let's see how the poll is looking. I'm going to go ahead and end that off. 167 votes and 73% are giving the credit to Papa Ange Postecoglou as far as the super new era Spurs of late. And then 14% says no one gets praise yet. That's second place. Second place is no one gets praise yet, but it's only 14% compared to the 73% who give it to Ange Postecoglou. So the vibe tonight is that Papa Ange is indeed top notch. And honestly, I've always been equating it, Paul, to like when you're in the car and your dad's driving, you're just not really concerned about anything else because Papa Ange is at the wheel. So that's how I feel.
That's right, man.
Yeah. Daniel's asking what's going on, Paul. You all right over there? They're asking you all right.
Yeah, I'm cool, man. I'm
All
cool,
right.
man.
It's off the ball positioning, and Richie ain't no Kane, says Jayco. He is not no Kane, that is for sure. Antonio says, agree with Paul's friend. Kane did Spurs a solid. One, he brought in a big transfer fee instead of going on a free, and two, went to a team in a different league instead of a competitor. So why can't Eric Dyer do the same? Why is Eric Dyer fighting tooth and nail? You ever seen the picture of that lion that's like getting drugged out by the cage and he's sinking in the sand with his paws? It's like, oh man, come on. Why can't Dyer do it? If Kane helped us, they're supposed to be friends. He needs to help us.
Do it for Tottenham, Dyer. Come on, man.
Do it for Tottenham, Dyer. Come on. Daniel E says, well, for a star, Anthony hitting the post all came from Richie getting tackled so easy. Interesting. I forgot about that. They were asked. They couldn't finish their dinner, and I'm glad for it. So, fuck them. That may not be the most politically correct way to say it, but you know what? Whatever. I don't really care. How was that ass whooping is what I would say. I don't know what that says. Mark Saunders, I was lucky enough to have been at the stadium for beating the Manx. It was buzzing. It looked like it, man. They absolutely looked rocking. Very jealous of you. Glad you had a good time, though. Yosarian says, Ange doesn't postpone matches. He shows trust in the squad and brings youth players to fill in the gaps. That is BDE. That's a great place, honestly, to end the show. But we do have a late question that came in from Zapur. Still don't know what you're trying to show me there, Paul.
I've been trying to just do. Hang on. I've been trying to do.
There you go. Yeah, put it on your chest. Now keep getting closer. Keep getting closer with your chest. New member Shearman.
Yeah, I thought I'd like twitch it up a bit, and but it's not working. So I'm just trying to
how
value
on Twitch,
add.
whenever it pops up, it's like new member.
Yeah. I'm trying to, earn my keep as a guest, man.
A+ for effort, Paul. I'm taking the effort and I'm running with it. You get an A+ for that.
Fucking it up.
Late question from Zapur coming in says, question, what is the worst position in the standings that would be acceptable for you to let Ange have another go? 16th.
20th. I mean, it's not going to happen.
I'm saying 16th. As long as we don't get relegated, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Which I don't think I don't think it's possible for Ange to be that awful. I don't think it's possible at all. I think worst case scenario we'll sit at 10th, maybe. Which is still not as bad as Chelsea was last season. Let's face the facts.
That's right, Chelsea, and they're not improving this year. And I think Man United are going to struggle. I mean, like Ten Hag has been. If you compare what Ange has done in 2 months to what Ten Hag has done in over a year, that tells you who's got the better coach.
Big up, Batu. New name in the chat as well. Big up. Let's see. C-Cube says, pull up the Richie quotes. Jacob, annoying as fuck for him to blame people for not passing him when Decky, Mads, and Son were looking for him in the box multiple times. They were completing passes. Let me go ahead and pull it up, Cube, just for you.
I'm on it.
You've got it? Well, I got it.
No,
I
haven't got it yet, but I'm on it. So
I clicked the wrong button. Hang on. Bear with me now. Stand by. Hang on. Hold on tight. Here we go. Bang and bang. Sorry, man. I Cubed is producer behind me. You know what? Another A+ for effort, my friend. You get a participation trophy tonight.
Thank you, man.
Anything for you, my friend. So the quote here from Chris Cowlin says, Richarlison on the Man United game, quote, I didn't get any ball there to shoot. As a striker, okay, I did not see this whole quote. This is actually, so I might have to, let me finish reading it. Okay, hang on. I'm getting distracted because I was sitting here saying he took accountability, and the first sentence says, "I didn't get any ball to shoot. As a striker, I have to receive the ball," and that doesn't sound like he's taking accountability. The quote goes on to say, I have to be close to the goal. Today I didn't receive any ball there, so I was more upset about that. It wasn't for the substitution or anything. Little by little, we're getting along. Maddison is a great player, and little by little, I'm gaining rapport with him. During training, we've been making a good partnership. Little by little, I think the goals will come. I need to be calm. The important thing is that we won the 3 points. Paul, when I read that whole quote to you, how do you feel about that?
Oh, yeah. Look, I see where C Cube's coming from now.
Yeah, this actually is a lot worse than I originally, because
Yeah,
the quote that I read started out as
I wasn't upset with the substitution.
it
It
was
sounded
today I didn't receive the ball there, so I was more upset or yeah, that he wasn't upset about the substitution or anything, and that I think the goals will come. I just need to be calm. That's the quotes that I had read, and I was like, oh, okay, nice. He's taking some accountability. But now that I read it in full like this, I'm actually like
Yeah,
kind
I
of
didn't get any ball there to shoot. Where the fuck were you though, mate? You know, you're in the wrong place. But I'll give you credit. Lost in translation, whatever. I'm still. Oh, thanks, C. Sherman. Bless you. Um, look, I'll still give him one more game. Still, you know, why not? Another 60
yeah.
minutes anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Another start, 60 more minutes. And if you're farting around again, then guess what? Now we're going to switch things up in the perfect time in the schedule to do so, right? We have Craven
Absolutely.
Cottage, which is a Carabao Cup. And then we've got Burnley and then
Sheffield United.
Sheffield. Two recently promoted teams, not to take a piss out of them, but they're
Oh,
recently
you don't piss
promoted.
out Sheffield
This is a
United.
great
But
time that I
anyway,
think we could. Okay, maybe I will. Um, I got a couple more questions starred. Let me see. Um, Adrian Schroka says, question, do you think we have enough squad depth to ensure our young players don't suffer from burnout and injuries? I do. And I think Ange will
yeah,
pull from the Alejo Valises, et ceteras, personally. So I feel all right. I think we need to get a couple people out and a couple more people in at certain positions. But as far as depth goes at this juncture, I'm all right. What about you?
yeah, I'm pretty cool with it. I mean, you probably do have to watch injuries on these players, but yeah, I mean, you've got a squad of 25. Um, yeah, I'm not overly concerned about it at the moment. You know.
Big up Tottenham Hotspur in the house. Says
Oh,
I'm from
Tottenham
Kazakhstan.
Hotspur, the
No,
whole
what
club. Wow.
Kazakhstan Tottenham Hotspur.
Oh, right,
It's not
right.
Tottenham, it's Tottenham. So it's
Ah, gotcha,
just a
gotcha.
slight change there. But from
Little,
Kazakhstan, big up all the way to Kazakhstan. Spurs champion. I hope so. We might see it. We might not.
man.
Big up Wolves Fi. Says big up Jacob and Paul. Chat laters. Ange ball means business. And Wolves need to stop talking and start walking to rock bottoms. EPL teams battle next weekend at Goodison Park. Good luck, Wolves. Fi. Hope y'all smash them out the park. Really, where you went wrong was not keeping a Traore, but that's for another. That's for another topic. Um, Big up Antonios Vorrias. What? Why am I going to get pissed off, Daniel? Do I get mad about a lot? Do I get mad? I kind of get mad. Do I get mad sometimes, Paul?
I don't think so. I've not
Dub
seen
Shaman
you.
says, lay off Richie, he will come good. Ainge trusts him and likes his work off the ball.
What's what it comes down to. If Ange likes him, either I'm just
Yeah,
some bum on a couch. You know, what do I know? You know.
I
So
agree. I'm an Ainge we trust. I can't sit here and say an Ainge I trust, and then if Ainge continues to start him at the striker position, say I don't know what he's doing.
yeah.
Um,
And
yeah.
as like Ange was saying, he's still he's still working out his team and the squad. So there's going to be changes. He's going to be mucking around a little bit. We're not going to have, you know, like it's very early on in Conte's tenure. We seem to have that fixed 11 for every bloody game, you know, and that was it. So you know, when he's changing it around a bit, that's where we might lose a couple of results. The chemistry might not be there, and I'm
Hmm.
prepared for that. But
That's all right. Yeah,
I
that's all right.
like these 3 games plus Fulham. I think by the end of that, we'll have more of an idea. You know, that guy is no share of me.
Definitely not no share of me.
And
And
stop
then the
swapping your
last,
shirt.
yeah, well, he took it off. There you go. Nipples out and everything. Cubed has a late question coming in as well. Is Orban the gift we want? He is indeed. Gimme, gimme, gimme. That's how I feel. And I think you feel the same. I think you feel the same. That pic looks crazy cropped like that. Yeah, I know, huh? Yeah. What that mouth do, young man? Ray
He's,
Chester, chilling in
he's
South London. Love the chat. Come on, big up Ray Chester. Hope you're keeping well. We are going to be ending the show there, and I will go ahead and say, go subscribe to the Hotspur Hippie if you haven't already. We just hit over 2 hours, and you know what? If you're not a YouTube member, you're not, you know, in a financial way supporting this channel, absolutely free. 123 of y'all absolutely knocked it out of the park hitting that like for me. 170 votes. So yeah, we still got about 50 of y'all that didn't want to hit a like, but you want to participate in the poll, and that's totally cool. It is a free universe. Do what you want to do. Live the life you so choose to live. And if being a hating ass motherfucker is part of your life, then that's so be it. But you know what? Who am I to judge? Because I will not. But 2 hours of free content, hitting a like, absolutely goes far and does wonders for the channel and for myself. So big up if you have done that. Paul, you got anything coming up you want to tell the people about? You got a video dropping in a couple hours or anything?
Oh, I might go for a walk, drop a video. Something pops into my head. I might do a stream later on tonight. I'm
Because you got to
interested
get
to
those
see.
trees in it, right?
Yeah, got to get the trees, man. Otherwise, no one watches. If I put a tree in, everyone watches. If I put no tree, no fucker watches. I don't understand it, but I'll be interested to see how the poll goes because my choice was not very popular.
Which was your choice?
I went for the players.
You voted for the players. It's not popular at all. I'm going to go ahead and end that poll. It says, who do you think deserves the most praise for Super NES? Ending the poll now. I see 171 votes. I'm going to end it in 3, 2, and it is ended. 171 votes, y'all. That is a lot of votes. Y'all killing it. 73% out of 171 votes says Papa Ange Postecoglou is the one to praise for the Super NES. And second place, no one gets praised yet with 14%. Very small amount, but second place nonetheless. Still not giving any praise to anyone just yet. But the key word there for me, ladies and gentlemen, yet. Absolutely. 8% says the players. Paul, you were part of that 8%. And then 3% says ownership, players, manager, etc. So Super NES is super new era Spurs, caveman. Don't you worry. But big ups every single one of you who have tapped into the chat. I appreciate you very much. No need to go anywhere. I will be, all of y'all on YouTube. I see here we go, a Twitch comment coming in late. I will be sending you over to Sarcasm City TV with the one and only Flawless. He's a great guy. He's been on this channel quite a few times. He's a Manchester United fan. If you are going to hang out and go over there, it's a great place. I wouldn't send you anywhere that the vibes weren't great. So go on over there, say USA Raid, tell him I sent you so he knows where the love is coming from. But I'm going to ask this question, even though I did say I had the last question already, but we don't get many Twitch comments come in. So Double A65 says, do you see MLS advancing as a league in the next 2 to 3 years, or would Saudi Arabia already take over by then? Paul, you want to answer this one for me?
Well, Saudi Arabia are also angling to get into the Champions League, which I don't understand because they're not in Europe and they don't stick to our transfer window either. So
Yeah,
I don't know. The MLS seems to have more. It seems to have you've got the World Cup coming up as well. So I'd still see it. It's like we've had the peak of the Middle East for now because of the Qatar World Cup. I think the MLS looks in pretty good shape. Messi's killing it. And you've got that huge roller coaster over the next 4 years to ride as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the MLS has a lot of promise. In 25 years, the league has grown leaps and bounds. I think 27 years now, but they've grown leaps and bounds. Getting Lionel Messi is a great way to boost your brand in the least. Big up Tottenham Hotspur from all the way from Kazakhstan. Big up yourself. Big up Caveman. Big up every single person. And we got a late little dono from our Korean fan. I don't know what to call you. I don't know how to say your name. I don't think maybe I missed the comment where you told me how to say it, but I want to say thank you so much. I've seen you in the chat. You're bigging it up. You have high hopes for us, and you know what? I do too. Thank you for the 5,000 won donation all the way from Korea. I appreciate that, and know that I appreciate you being here, whether you were live or on playback. Watching 2 hours and 6 minutes into this program, you are absolutely a goat of the channel, and that doesn't even cost you anything. It's free. You gave me your time. You gave me your time, and I can only be appreciative of that. So I want to say big thank you to every single one of y'all that tapped in live. I also do want to say big thank you to C. Shearman picking up that membership tonight, being the first one to grab, the first and only membership grab tonight, but that is okay. I appreciate it so much, C. Sherman, for grabbing that, even though you just wanted it for the cool little logo. I think at 4 months or 6 months, you get a golden little logo. So there you go. You get a little something. There you go. I'm trying to do the most that I can here. And then also want to say a big up to our Korean friend. I don't know what your name is. Your picture looks like Genshin Impact? I don't know, but some kind of anime. Oh, here we go. You can pronounce the Korean donator as Monguri, according to Google Translate. Mongoli. Big up. I don't know. I hope I'm not saying something offensive and y'all just tricked me into saying something like suck my balls in another language or something. I hope I didn't, but big up Soul Brother, Howie Ice. Big up Howie being here. Big up Nick. Big up Ray Chester all the way in London tuning in late night. Big up Lemmy late night. Late chat as we're ending off. Lemmy in the house. Money alone will not allure prestige. Dubai is a perfect example, so MLS has more of a chance than Habibi Ball, says Lemmy. Interesting to see how things pan out. Big up Batu. Good to see you here as well. Good day from Mongori. I don't know what I'm saying, so I apologize for butchering your name. But thank you so much for this. I do appreciate that. First time here, and at least you're laughing. At least you're laughing. They're laughing, so at least they're laughing. At least they're laughing. That's all I can ask for, right? The vibes are immaculate. I'm glad you're here. J. Cole, thank you for having my back. I don't know what you're saying. I hope it's something good, and tell them that they can trust me, and it's all the vibes are immaculate. Make sure everyone knows that. But big up J. Cole. Zapur says, I speak Korean. You're good. Mongoli. It's like gabagool. Mongoli. All right. Dub Shaman, Pakistan Spurs here. Come on, Big Ange. He's a real man who earns his respect like Pep, Arteta, and Hag can't do it. Arteta and Hag can't do it, but Pep and Ange can. I'm in on that, Dub Shaman. I like the vibes you're bringing. I haven't seen you in the chat before, but big ups for being here. I do appreciate. Swim Master caught the last few minutes entertained. Big up Swim Master. Always a pleasure when you're here. It's not often, but when it is, it's always a good time. And I hope y'all enjoyed this episode number 33. Just over 2 hours of fun, 132 likes. I do appreciate y'all. I'm off to have some dinner. I'm going to make spaghetti for the family. Hope y'all enjoy your evening. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Spaghetti. I'm eating it for the aperitici. This club and these players. All right, that's it. Before I get canceled and do any more shitty impressions, I'm going to sign this show off by saying, stay fresh, stay blessed, up the lads, and come on, you Spurs. Paul?
United Spurs of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.